Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the show. I am your charming, self-proclaimed, yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today, we are back in the wonderful world of Guild Wars 2, which is Tyria, by the way. Did you know that? Hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yo, Mukka Chat, how y'all doing? What's up, Guild Wars Storyteller? How are you? Just waking up, getting started. I just finished a bowl of Fruit Loops, and now I am here to hopefully entertain. It is Guild Wars Tuesday, so we are back on Guild Wars 2. I am currently on the EU servers right now, visiting our friends from across the pond. Going to be also doing the monthly Q&A for July, which I'm a few days late on. Going to knock that out this morning. Later tonight, we've got the Push beta is going to be coming back. We'll be able to Push again and see what changes they have made since the last time. So, looking forward to trying that out. Welcome to the side of the pond. Yes! I am on the healthcare side of the pond right now. Hey everyone, Vision of Eternity acquired. Can't wait to see what they do with Ellie. Yes, we should find out tomorrow, if not before. So we still do not have any clue what the Revenant is going to be, the Engineer is going to be, or how Evoker plays. Those three, Ellie, Engie, and Rev. If you play those three, know that Guild Wars has made it quite clear who their favorite children are and who their least favorite are. So those are the last ones. So I'm sure right now, ArenaNet is in full-blown panic, trying to come up with some kind of class for Revenant, like as we speak. They're trying to make something up really fast. We still have no name for Engineer Spec? Correct. Or Rev. What do you think about the Ritualist? In my eyes, just based on my own preferences, it's not perfect. I wish the Shroud thing was, like, completely out of it. I wish Shroud was not required to manage the spirits. In Guild Wars 1, you could have them out the whole time. In Guild Wars 2, it seems like, 1, they're way weaker, and 2, you can't have them out the whole time. I definitely want to try it out, though. The kit looks very cool. Some of the skills, like the skill that's basically Aegis, but it can't be removed in any way. And then like the skill that, you know, if you get hit for more than 5% of your life, you heal the difference as long as you didn't go downstate. Like those things look really, really fun to use. The main thing I worry about is simply the various, how can I put this into words? So like while you're in Shroud managing the spirits, you can't use your staff skills, or your utility skills. And while you are in, you know, let's say staff and you're doing support, like Mark of Blood is like a 4-second cooldown, so you need to have access to that a lot. You do not have access to your Shroud skills, your spirits. So it's like you're always locked out of something. So I'm curious how it's going to feel to play it, but it does look intriguing to me. Do you think that having the Shroud compensates for SOS due to 3 spirits? Do I think that having the Shroud compensates for Signet of Spirits due to 3 spirits? No. Because it's like a button for Shroud, you have to have enough juice to get into it. The spirits are on 3 different buttons. And I mean, Ritualist in Guild Wars 1 had way more than 3 spirits. It was just that Signet of Spirits, the very famous skill, summoned 3. It doesn't feel great that there's no Condi damage built in anywhere. Oh yeah, everything we saw from Ritualist traits was related to power. Or support. Hey Mug Chad. Hi Goddess! I have to leave soon to get my tire repaired. Whoever leaves a rogue screws on the roads. I run every one of them over somehow. Don't think I've owned a vehicle where I didn't have a random screw make its way into one of my tires. Oh no. Given the spirit cast time and the limitation of being in Shroud, they really need to give you SOS just so you could have the spirits out long enough to do some good. Well, well, they're not doing that. So Signets are not the new thing for Ritualists. Ritualists got, was it Weapon Arts or Weapon Enchants or whatever? So they're not going to give it Signet of Spirits. Like it's just not going to happen. Unless it was like a trait or something. The closest thing I could see was that one trait where it was like, was it Lingering Spirits? That your spirits would last after you left Shroud. So it's like, if you're in Shroud, summon the spirits, leave Shroud, the spirits keep, like, timing out. Then you know, do some skills and then go back in Shroud and summon them again to, like, refresh them. Like, like that, you could almost have Guild Wars 1 gameplay. And then it's just a matter of like, okay, if you take Lingering Spirits, what do you have to give up? Let's see, good morning. It feels like there's been a ton of new people play Guild Wars lately. I was wondering if you've also seen a lot more views and comments on new player guides recently. I mean, I can look. Hang on a second. Let's see. Yeah, it's still getting some traffic. There's not like a huge spike on the new player guides, but I will say I'm no longer like the only one that has new player guides, right? Like Loranity over the last year has made a ton of guides. So, yeah, she's probably got a slice of that traffic now too. I will say, if I was guessing just by the number of questions from like people in chat, I would guess that there is a lot of new players coming into the game, yes. Because we get a lot of people that pop in that says like, you know, first time viewer, and then they'll ask stuff and we, you know, answer that as often as possible. Evening Mug Chat. Hi, Laura. I feel like Spirit out time is not going to be a problem though. I feel like you're probably right, and the reason for that is it seems like the spirits do something really important when they're summoned, and then they're just like really bad after. And so it's like, okay, so it almost doesn't matter if they stay out because they're so unimpressive when they're out. Like, it was they did like 200 damage per second during the demonstration. They did like 700 damage on attack, and they had a 3-second attack speed. So it's like, it almost doesn't even matter if they're there. So if they're going to be that weak, then yeah. But I mean, I was just talking about like for flavor. Streaming couple Ghoul X Ghoul just started Guild Wars 2 yesterday and super excited. I pointed them in your direction if your website's operational. Yeah, website's still up. We still, every new guide and stuff like that that we add gets you know, added to the website. It's on there right now. Let me see. You know what? Hang on a sec. We actually just added the Festival of the Four Winds thing. Okay, yeah, it's okay. It took a second to load. For a second, I thought something might be wrong with the website. And then I was like, oh, it just took a minute to load. Yeah, website's still good. It's still there. Exactly, depends on Shroud uptime at that point. Yeah. They're just going for MMO to MMO, trying to find one they like. Morning chat just returning. Hey, Wilbur. Hey, Makacha. Hi, Evely. There does seem to be an uptick in returning players who played Core Hot and have finally returned. I've run into quite a few new players the last couple months. Usually end up chatting with them and trying to help them out. We should be able to kill teammates and resurrect them as spirits with some bonus or abilities if they... No, I don't think we should be able to do that. Closest thing I've ever done to that type of gameplay was in World of Warcraft, the early Death Knight. If an ally died, you could resurrect them as a ghoul, and they could fight as a ghoul for like 45 seconds. That was always a funny situation. It was never very powerful, but it was just like, well, you know, it's better than you being dead, I guess. Okay, got all of that. Greetings, Rat Lord Muck and Peasants. I, Lord Sonics, has arrived to grace you with my person. What? No, you're not the real Lord Sonics. The real Lord Sonics always gives us updates on the dragon. I don't know you. Your spirits are on cooldown and shatter, so more shroud uptime means more roll, DPS, support, heal. I mean, the shroud... I don't know about that. The Shroud 2, 3, and 4 summoned spirits. Shroud 5 repositioned the spirits, and Shroud 1 did damage based on how many spirits you had out. So if your spirits are on cooldown, I don't know what would the point of this being going into Shroud, what the point would be. Muck, what's your referral code? Oh, I got you. Here's a link to it right there. Thank you for using it. Appreciate you. Gigi says, hi Mucker Chat, if I want to play a new character, do I have to play through all the story and add-ons again, or doesn't it matter too much? I've done it once on a Reaper, but I really want to play Daredevil's main class now because it's more fun. No, you do not have to play it again. As an example, when End of Dragons came out, I really wanted to try out the Mechanist. So my Ranger played everything here, except he skipped End of Dragons, and I played Engineer for End of Dragons. And then I went back to my Ranger in Soto. So no, you do not have to play the whole story. In order, you can just start like a new section on a different character if you want. Is the new festival out yet? I don't know if it's live yet, but I know Festival of the Four Winds is anytime now. Hey, Mega Chat, I have a question. What's up, Aura? Loved you and JoJo, by the way. Muck, how do we get the deluxe edition of the expansion on Steam? I think you buy the game like standard, and then you get the digital deluxe version through the gem store in-game. I haven't seen that firsthand, but that's what I've been told by other people. Dragon is wreaking havoc today in Sonic Lands, breathing fire over our field. She destroyed numerous homes, many were burned today, and more will be, but our defenses are active and protective barriers have been set up already. Brave heroes rescuing those they can. We will win the war one day, but today we had to retreat. For the new Bloods here, Zonix is talking about their mother. Muck, what are the good things to do and get on the festival? Festival of the Four Winds? What are the big things on that? There is the big thing in Divinity's Reach with that one, where you can go down into the big, I forget what it's called. It's the pit area, and you can do like the fighting thing with the one-on-one combat thing, like Terraiosa and stuff like that. The Queen's Gauntlet, yeah. There's also a bunch of events that happen down there almost non-stop. You can do a lot of farming if you wish to. Brother has 17 Asuras, that one human feeling lonely. I have a video on that topic. And that's what the many Asuras and the one human do while I'm AFK. Welcome to the community. Absolute cinema. Thank you, I thought so too. I gotta scroll back up to see all these questions that I missed. See, teleport to friends perfect for that. Do you have guides to the fighting arena? I don't know. I do not. And the race, I love the race. Already taking a break? Nah, I mean, I had to show that off. Let's see. Can I use TP to friend and TP to homie at certain spots I can't reach without playing into the main story? As long as you own that content. So, like, if you don't own Living World Season 3, you can't TP to a friend who's in Draconis Mons, you know? But as long as you own that content, you should be able to, yes. Was that Smug Mini Muck at the end? Oh yeah, it's like the final like one frame is just super zoomed in on him. They'd probably TP'd me to Chalice of Tears anyway, then they're no longer friends. What's up, ready for the final 3 tomorrow? Yep. Gonna find out what they get. Revenant channeling Drubert the Quaggan. Engineers becoming nuclear physicists. And Elementalist dead, but their pet Firefox keeps fighting. You can also use guild halls to get to the expansions without using TP to friend. In some cases, yes. Sphere Engineer, let's go. Yeah. Element mechanic will be to go into downstate to fight as the fox. The position rewinder is great. Really should have gotten it years ago. It is great. Do you reckon next Ellie has even less hit points? Oh my god. How is that possible? How would that be possible? The Rev symbol looks like Mabon's gauntlet. Maybe the Rev is getting the nuclear atom thing. Maybe Engineer is getting the gauntlet. Maybe Engineer is gonna embrace alchemy like Dr. Jackal, Mr. Hyde, and they'll like drink some potion and just crack out. Get Harbinger skill, do damage minus 6k HP. So you're saying Ellie should get a blight mechanic and lower their health even more? It's so funny that Laura's on vacation when her main's elite spec will be revealed and also won't be able to watch stream. What? Dude, she takes so many vacations. Absolute European behavior. As someone who, like, works with a, you know, scattering of people all around the world, it feels like every other week, European, like, my European contacts are like, oh, and if you need anything, you know, leave me a message. I won't be available from Tuesday through Friday this week, in honor of National Wednesday Day. And I'm just like, okay. It's just like constant. So many holidays.
Quite so.
Canadians be on holidays like every other week. Yo, it's something like that. Hey, Mark, what's those interesting spec that uses bows as a main weapon? There's not that many specs that use bows as weapons, period. Ranger can use all bows. Warrior can use longbow and does like flaming arrow attacks. Guardian, if you pick up Dragon Hunter, can use longbow. Thief can use shortbow and like teleport around and stuff like that with it. It's more of like a utility thing than a damage tool for them. Engineer, if you have Secrets of the Obscure, can use shortbow, and it's a support weapon for them, which is really weird. But they use it to like fire like healing capsules and stuff like that. Oh yeah, yeah. Renegade added shortbow to the Revenant. Yep. For them, it's kind of a mixture of power and Condi. It's got a bit of both on there. Hi, Makaicha. Hi, Tabby. What percent do you think we will get Dervish? There was one ArenaNet dev who said that no one has guessed what Rev is getting successfully yet, and a lot of people have guessed Dervish, so it might be that they're not getting Dervish. But if someone was gonna get it between Engineer or Rev, I would guess Rev, because they could just channel the spirit of like a famous dead Dervish from Guild Wars 1. But we'll see if that happens. Gale Force, best bow spec. Yep. Yep. Just need to throw out every bow skin in the game for 10 years. Because all Gale shots are just going to use airbow. What's a Dervish? Dervish was a class in Guild Wars 1 that hasn't yet made it to Guild Wars 2.
Wow. 61 months. It still feels surreal to me being here this long. I started out liking the guides and then saw an opportunity to be helpful by making the second YouTube channel videos for the variety games. It's been a few years of it and yet I don't tire of making and uploading those episodes.
And it is much appreciated. Thank you, Birdtree. Yes, for anyone who doesn't know, Birdtree helps me with the uploads to Mukluk Plays each day. That channel on some days gets like 10 new episodes. So there's over 10,000 videos there if you're a binging pleasure. Thank you, Bird. Yeah, so Dervish was in Guild Wars 1, just like Paragon and Ritualist, but we're about to get Paragon and Ritualist. Dervish, no sign of that one yet, or Monk. But the Dervish was a class that did a lot of prayers to their god, which is kind of like the human basic racial abilities, like prayer to Duena, prayer to Balthazar, yada yada.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you today?
Alright, how do you interrupt me twice? And then they would use a scythe a lot. And they would like do weapon enchants and lots of cleaving. They were really big on cleaving through just big piles of foes. Are they showing more specs today? Nope. Tomorrow. Rev channels the spirits. Yes. How do you get this Warclaw skin? Oh, the plushie one? It's just on the gem store on occasion. I had no idea for a new PvP mode. What do you think of an extraction-style PvP mode timed and circle closing in, where you start with a blank build and have to loot skills and traits on a big map? So, Realm Royale. You would create builds on the fly, which I think could make it feel like Guild Wars 1. I would say I'm sure there is a group of people who would be game to play that. I don't know if there's enough people game to play that they would be enough to have it be a lively population. I, for one, would try that, but I don't anticipate being interested in that to play it long term. Because, you know, I'm not usually into games like that. Today you have time for non-carpal tunnel berserker. Are you talking about the support berserker or the DPS one? There was a couple of people that have been yelling at me to play DPS berserker again. And I looked at it and I'm like, this looks exactly the same as the last time I made a video on it, like so many months ago. It's weird they haven't even revealed the last Spec's name yet. I promise you they're trying to come up with something good right now. WoW did that with Plunderstorm? Yes. But WoW also has a much larger player population. Quick DPS Zerker got a bit less spammy, generally it's the same. Who's it? Captain Crapface did message me and tell me that support Zerker is much less APM to play now than it used to be. I don't know why, but he said that. The activities like South Sun Survival are fun, but no one really plays them anymore. How about Ellie gets Dervish channeling Elemental Lords? What if Ellie gets Dervish channeling Elemental Foxes? They're going to evoke Dervs. Okay. Alright, let's clean some of this up. If thieves get scrits, can revs get quaggons? Been playing a lot of Warhammer games lately. And in Warhammer, there's a race called the Skaven, which are basically scrits, but they're way more cracked out and they got guns. And their whole thing is their fire is very friendly. They blow up their own troops just as much as they blow up the enemy, but they're so numerous it doesn't matter. And I did toy with the idea of making a video like actual Antiquarian gameplay and just have a bunch of footage of Skaven like blowing themselves up. Lore-wise, Ellie has the most freedom of what god they were following. Dervishes usually had their favorite god. I mean, there is that one dervish at the end of that one fractal that's like, now I'm a Mesmer, now I follow Grinth, now I'm a Necro, now I'm an Ellie, now I'm a different element of Ellie. So apparently if you dervish well enough, you can be all the light armor classes. You reckon there's a chance they will change Antiquary or going to keep it as it is with the backlash they've gotten? I think backlash is a very strong word, but I don't know. Like, in my opinion, and it's very important to address that it's an opinion. In my opinion, they could have the whole class with every ability it currently has, and it would still function, but I think it looks right now like it doesn't belong in Tyria. And I think it needs a different coat of paint. Like, call it the Gambler, call it the Risk Taker, you know, or something. But just have the abilities look different. Like, instead of the Scrit Snatch, just have it be a form of steel again, you know? Instead of pulling out a guitar, you pull out, like, a magical tarot card that emits the shockwaves or something like that, you know? Instead of, like, all these weird, stupid artifacts, like, have it just be, like, a deck of magical cards or something. But it's just the way that it is currently presented looks like it doesn't belong in Tyria. But, and again, they can have all the skills do exactly what they do now. But if they followed a different theme, I think it would be so much better. Bag of fish. I said the build a while back, it's sword only dual wield, the rotation is just press 2 buttons off cooldown and no 0 cooldown skills. Yeah, I remember you sending that. I was just trying to figure out, like, what was the point of it? Like, if it's just, like, basically press a few buttons and auto attack. What's one I don't have? That one, I guess. Elite specs are kind of for that, though. Make something different. Yeah, but it's like... There's a limit, though, right? Like, if you just say, oh, different, and then you've got some guy that's, like, throwing toilet paper at enemies. You know? You got some jester throwing eggs or something. And it's just like, okay, different is fine, but if it gets so far out of, like, the realm of the game world, it makes people, like, they kind of lose that sense of, like, they're playing the game and they get really just engrossed in it, and then all of a sudden some guy walks by and he's firing guitars out of his butt cheeks or something, and you're just like, oh, you know what, I need to go do some chores. And then they get up from the computer. You know, it's just, if it's so stupid, it just really pulls you out of it, then it's just like, oh, you know, people are going to not be as interested. I know, like, I personally, if I'm going to be showcasing this game in the future, and I make, like, a new Why Play Guild Wars 2, I am absolutely not going to make Antiquarian look like how it actually looks. Because I would need to get people addicted to the game before they see Antiquarian, because it's like an embarrassment. It's kind of like Harry Potter's family. They would put him under the stairs when the company would come over. That's me with Vindicator and Antiquarian. Like, you two, get under the stairs. Don't make any noise until the company's left. You know, once they get to know us, then they can meet you when it's too late. Like, that's it. Like, it's freaking shameful. I ran into Guild Wars 1 and Surus for the first time last night, and they are def goofy. Oh, yeah. Two polygon Surus. I like the idea of Antiquarian, but it does feel like they tried to combine 2 classes. Yeah, it literally has a button called Shuffle. Shuffle what? It doesn't have any cards. Like, yeah, I see one theory that I saw some people say was maybe the whole quest, or maybe the whole class was supposed to be like a gambling thing, and then because of EU's laws with gambling, that they would have to change the rating of the game, so at the last second they made it like half whatever the hell it is now. I don't know if I believe that or not, but that's one option. But yeah, there's like 2 or 3 traits related to cards, and then nothing else is card related. But right now, it's, yeah, it definitely feels like, to quote somebody else here, it feels like 2 devs that didn't talk to each other worked on it. And then they just combined what they had at the last second. Again, I got no problem with the skill set. Like, all the buttons it's got, the skills, things like that. It's just like, we're getting a bard, and in the same patch that we're getting a bard, we're getting a guy that pulls out a higher technology guitar that's not the bard. And then he just throws it away and pulls more out of his cheeks whenever he needs them. What if Rev will be able to summon Prince Rurik? Story-wide circle would give it an ass on. Okay, that would be kind of cool. What would he do? Prince Rurik was just a fighter with a flaming sword. Like, I'm not sure what he would do that a Rev couldn't already do. Watch it be the best and most fun classic expansion. Yeah, it might be fun, but it's like being a Looney Tune looks like it'd be fun, right? But it looks goofy as hell. That said, I do think it looks like really outside the realm of what this game is. Prince Rurik Rev has an F skill to instantly go down state. I mean, hold on, what, didn't he die from like an avalanche though? Like, he didn't just run in and like breathe elementalist air and then just fall over. Like, he got hit by like a small mountain essentially. And then while he was down on the ground, some guy came up and executed him. Like, that's a way to go. He Leroy Jenkins a bit. A little bit. What do you think about NG getting power armor in the next class? Power armor, like a pseudo-mechanical armor to drive around in? It could be cool. I mean, Asura already basically have that as a one of their elite skills. Summon a power suit, which you or your allies can enter and use in combat. It's not great, but they can. Let's see. I've been playing for 2K hours since early access, but only yesterday I discovered the Wizard's Portal Tome thanks to your older vid. Is there a site with a list of items like this that help new players? A list of obscure items like that would help new players. Let me see. Hang on. Because, like, I've got my own website, of course. I don't know that I have a section on here for obscure items like that. Calidbulg, Ascended Gear, Tips, Converters, Basics, Research Notes, Skyscale. I don't know. I would say if you're looking for anything specific like that, one thing you could do if you want it. Give me a second. Okay. Wow, I have 193 guides now. Okay. So this right here are guides that I have made. I've apparently made 193 of them. So you could go to this and just scroll through these and look for anything that catches your eye. Now these are in order from oldest to newest, so, you know, the first ones on the list are probably out of date, but as you go down, you know, there's Legendary Relic, Spine Gazer Pet if you're a ranger, if you have these you can get free glyphs, and yada yada yada. So every guide I have made for Guild Wars 2 is on this playlist, so if you just want to browse this and see if anything catches your eye, that might be one way you could do it. Can we get a guide to your list of guides? That playlist is a list of guides. I need to touch grass later, Muck. Oh, that sounds awful. Thoughts on Daredevil? Thoughts on Daredevil? It's fine. It's a DPS. It goes on Go Bunga. Big level, check that out. Thank you. Sure. I hope NG gets something atomic or like Eternal Alchemy themed. I don't know if that would make much sense. Well, considering the Bard is supposed to be invented by a Sylvari, and then the, what is it? The Gale Shot was invented by Tengu. It would not be a stretch to have Engineer be Eternal Alchemy that was invented by Asura. They could absolutely do that if they want. NG Inventor based on OMAD. Don't get my hopes up. Yeah, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's possible. Wow, I had not opened these in a while. Antique Summoning Stone. Oh, I need to go get the ASSs from the merchant. After Antiquary, all bets are off in the Make Sense department. Yeah. Yeah, at this point, I mean, what's the stupidest thing we could think of? Maybe Rev will just channel like a dolphin from that one dolphin fractal, and they'll just get the power of dolphin. Just something really stupid. Let's see. Where are the... Let me see. On ID. Let's do the blues. Narcissist Rev summons himself. That would be kind of funny. What if they, like, channel the Pact Commander? And, like, it's like you're old and past your prime, and they just channel themselves from when they were, like, younger and in their prime. Muck, what is the bags you use? Just 32 slot bags. Exclamation mark bags if you want guides on bags. Still say they're going to summon Baroth and Guild Wars 2X Monster Hunter crossover. Kind of doubting that. Kind of doubting that one. Oh, here's another dumb one. What if the Revs channel Lord Farron? I'm sure they could make that exceptionally stupid. Instant best-selling X-Pack? Wow. That good? Lord Farron has crazy plot armor. That's true. He got captured by Scarlet Briar and she just made him play music in his underpants. She was into some weird stuff. Where did I get this thing? Get rid of that. Alright, salvage greens. Okay. His Jungle Lord days, yep. Instead of backfire on Antiquarian skills, it should get better the longer you let it build charge, restore the artifact. I don't know. I don't know. It's the whole thing is so weird. Muck has too many purple balls, they're overflowing out of mat storage. I suppose you're right, yeah. If yours too had a weird limited class, like Blue Mage and FF14, what would it be? So I haven't played enough FF14 to know what you mean by that metaphor. What do you mean weird limited class? Like what does Blue Mage do that you're referring to? Let's see. Make his pauldrons. Final rest. Saku's needle. Vatlaw's boots. Blue Mage learns monster skills. Does anyone else refer to Path of Fire as Joko's Bizarre Adventure or just me? Joko's Bizarre Adventure? I like that, I'm stealing that. Joko! Do-do-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Golden Wind! Salvage yellows. Think of Monaco from Expedition 33. Oh, they like collect weird skills? Okay, I can understand that. Blue Mage copies monster attacks. Could be cool. It could be neat. Don't forget to like, follow, and revive me. Ellie content creators be like, Mike, is it worth spending 50 euro for 1,000 gold? No clue. I've never had a euro. 2, I've never converted USD to gold before, so I have no idea. Yours one, you learned new elite skills by stealing them from bosses. Signet of Capture, yeah. Yep, you did do a little bit of that. Alright, let's
This is most remarkable.
This stuff. Get rid of the orange things. And then salvage stack on these. Alright, Rukas. Do I need anything from these? Doesn't look like it. Alright, toss that. It's a chalk one. Ah, come on.
Guys, look
Let's
at
put that
me,
in the bank.
I'm so curvy!
Where's the bank? What? Dude, someone summoned a merchant on top of the bank. What kind of sick... Okay. The Expedition 33 main guy talked about Guild Wars 1 being one of his sources of inspiration. Depends if you really afford that. It's 50 or a very small pound for you. Let's see. Minoko is a good reference to how Blue Mage works. Minoko is literally Blue Mage. Okay, well then I understand. Yeah, it could be cool. It would take a lot of work to... Because I feel like there's a couple ways you could do that, right? You could have certain attacks that just only work in certain zones. Or you could have them to where you have to, like, collect them from monsters. But then once you have them all collected, it's like, okay, well, now you've got this weird kit thing. And that's another thing about the Antiquary. It's like, okay, if you had a big bag of artifacts that you'd gathered on your travels, that would make slightly more sense. But being able to just, like, reach into the ground and pull out, you know, any of these things from, like, all over the world, no matter where you're standing, is like, what? You know, again, it's just like, the disbelief is too high, and it's just like there's a disconnect. Let's see. Mark, was there enough yeast last night? I mean, Flute was still sane at the end of it, so I don't know. We might have gone too easy on her. Digging up char guitars in Cantha, yeah. Let's see, powdered rose quartz. Alright, we're just dealing with stuff that's overflowing out of my bank right now from all the days of picking up that free money off the ground. Yo, I'm about to make 10 gold. Rose quartz has value. Everyone needs Char Thief to be Metal Legion. Yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, not Bard, not Troubadour, Thief. Need to be Antiquary to be Metal Legion. What? Hey, Mug, right now I'm trying to find the final tier masteries for Corteria. Do you have any recommendations on how to quickly obtain them? Hit H, go to achievements, click on the gear, click mastery point filter, click Corteria. Here's a list of every mastery point that you could pick up that you haven't yet. Take your pick. And be sure to clear the filter when you're done. If you're just trying to fill the bar, I recommend fractals. Leaks. Appreciate it? Sure. Antiquary was a spec created by a Zoomer who watched 5 minutes of Indiana Jones, watched some YouTube video on Harrison Ford, in a way mistaking them for the same character. What? I never knew I could filter for mastery points. It wasn't always in the game, but it's been there for a couple years at this point. Oh, no, buy it, sell it. Dumb question, how much gold is considered being rich in the game? Depends on who you ask. There's a lot of folks who watch my stream that think that I'm rich. And then, you know, for me, I look at, like, Guild MM, who has multiple accounts because he hit the gold cap. And I think he's rich. You know? So it depends on who you ask. Let's see, chunk of jade. I'll say, if you've got, like, all your mounts, and then you've still got a couple hundred gold, you're doing better than most. What is the gold cap? It's something in the hundreds of thousands. I don't know the exact amount. A couple people said 200k. Mug, I tried to make a character named It Depends, but I was sad to see it was already taken. It's time. Pray I keep my sanity sitting at discount tire and hope that it's not for hours on end. Ever just so salty the Antiquary wasn't Gambit or another edgy Shadow Boy like the last two specs? No, Jacob, that's not that. It's like, literally the preview, the icon for it is a deck of cards. And there's nothing in it at all related to cards. It doesn't make any sense. And then, like, you know, the whole spec is like, oh, at any spot in the world, I can reach into the ground and pull out a Metal Legion guitar. or a auric hammer, or a dwarven cannon, or a Greer mistburn mortar. Like, it's just like anything from all around the world, I have the power to summon into my hand if my hand is in the dirt. And it just like, it doesn't make any, and then the script thing. It's like you were able to steal from the enemy, but now the script grabs a bag from the enemy and throws it to you, which gives you an artifact that they didn't have and it was in the ground. And it's like, okay, you're an antiquary who cares about artifacts, but you're just breaking them over the enemy's head. It's like Indiana Jones, it belongs in a museum, and then he just shatters the thing. And it's like, what? It's like the whole thing is so just like ass backwards. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely incoherent. It's like all over the place. Like the icon is a deck of cards, and then the title is someone who cares about artifacts, but the gameplay is you're just breaking artifacts constantly, and the rats are just kind of there. Oh, it's, yeah, I don't think it's people mad that it's not edgy or something. It's like they're a little disappointed because it doesn't make any sense. Again, nothing wrong with the skills. They could keep the skills exactly how they are, but just put a different coat of paint on them. Because right now, it's just like all over the place. In my opinion. It looks like it'd probably be fun to play, like, you know, Looney Tunes looking stuff. But again, it's like lore-wise, it just doesn't make any sense at all. If it was some sort of trickster spirit leveraging chaos magic, I'd be on board. I was wondering, when is the next lazy guide coming out? I was interested in the lazy rev builds. Lazy? Oh, do you mean like the low intensity ones? The LI builds? I mean, I don't know. Usually I do those whenever I just come across a really easy to play build, and then I just, you know, share it. So. I got full ascended armor already. Should I still do fractals or start raiding? Aim assist, you could do either. Fractals do require ascended armor because they require agony infusions plugged into the armor. Raids are designed to go in exotic gear and walk out with ascended gear. You've already got ascended gear. You're more than ready for raids as far as equipment goes. It's just a matter of, you know, watching a guide video on how to do the bosses and joining a group, that kind of thing. But as far as the gear goes, you're ready. You're beyond ready for that. Pyridine, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Good morning, Muck. Hi, Shugo. For the random artifacts thing, the Scrit is a huge loot bag. Could just be tossing you something from there and replacing it with a dug item.
Never leave a wrong.
But the Scrit's pulling it. That's another thing. The Scrit, when you use steal or Scrit snatch, the Scrit is grabbing the item from an enemy and throwing it to you. It pulls it from the target. And then when you use the elite skill, they dig it out of the ground. Again, it's just inconsistent. It's just all over the place. I got no problem with the actual skills, although I would put a different coat of paint on them. I don't think we should get Bard that has a stringed instrument, and then in the same patch, get an Antiquarian that gets a better guitar. Like, that also is, again, odd. We're mad about Antiquary? No, so there was a comment in the chat that said people are mad about Antiquary because it wasn't Gambit or another edgy Shadow Boy spec. And I was disagreeing, and I said, I think people are frustrated with Antiquary because it doesn't make any damn sense. And then I was saying that, in my opinion, they could keep it and have it do all the same stuff it does with its current skills, but give it a different coat of paint so the thing makes sense in Tyria, because right now it doesn't. But, you know, if it comes out as is, then say la vie. The guitar is a charband guitar. They leave those all over the place. Not that many of them.
Thank you for being one of the few creators who seem to be pushing back on the absurdity of Antiquary instead of just mindlessly glazing it.
Thank you for making my bot say glazing it. I've never heard him say that before. You're welcome. I mean, I don't think my opinion is anything to, like, praise or anything. It's just my thoughts on the matter. But thank you for the dono. Appreciate that. Like, I want to be clear here, guys. I'm not, like, raising a big stink out of it. I'm not going on their forums and posting or, you know, sending my feedback to them or anything like that. That's it. I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. And if they decide to, you know, do the Antiquary as it is, then so be it. You know, that's it. I'm not a huge fan, but whatever happens, happens. Like, I'm not, like, going and raising a big stink or trying to get you guys to sign a petition or anything like that. I just think it looks silly. There's plenty of gameplay and lore disconnects in game already, so it doesn't bother me too much, but I can see it was unfair to the other side. That's fair, yeah. I mean, yeah, so yeah, there are some other lore disconnects, sure, but I would say the Antiquary is just like a very big stack of lore disconnects. It's just like a lot of them in one package, so it's like glaring. Not like Muck is an avid thief player. No, I mean I'm an avid ranger player, and I'm disappointed by Gale Shot. But that's just because I feel like we already had archery. Like they could have just buffed longbow, and then we would have had Gale Shot, but instead they just made a completely new bow, and now it's like a whole new thing. And so like I'm not getting a new way to play the game, whereas you know, Thief gets a new way to play the game. But Ranger Gale Shot, it's just longbow with a different skin. So they're playing the game in the same way they weren't before. I'm not getting a new gameplay style. So kind of like how in End of Dragons, Mechanist came out, and I was like, that looks really cool. And then I mained an engineer for that expansion. I'm probably not going to main Ranger in Visions of Eternity because Gale Shot looks so bleh to me. To be honest, my Thief uses a script mini as a companion. I'm hyped for Gale Shot. I hope it's more fun quickness application than Untamed. That's another thing. Ranger's the only class in the game that doesn't have a DPS Alacrity build. And they gave us a second DPS quickness one. Like, that is a decision, for sure. Gale Shot looks fun from DPS main perspective. Yeah, but again, they could have made Gale Shot simply by buffing the longbow. But instead they made now we got short bow, longbow, and Bowie bow. And now Bowie bow will do more damage than longbow. What about Ritualist class? Do you like it? Yes, I think it looks pretty good. There are some numbers on it that look like it need to be tweaked. When I was watching the gameplay preview, the spirits were doing 700 damage every 3 seconds, so they were each doing just over 200 damage per second, which is very, very low. I'm hoping with like, you know, gear that they're more impressive. Because right now, from what I saw in the preview, the spirits had a really awesome thing when you summon them, but then after that, they might as well not be there. Like, their damage is so just, like, piss poor after that point. So, hoping that that gets tweaked, but their skills look really cool. Like, their weapon enchant skills look really, really neat. I have high hopes for Paragon. Paragon, I thought, looked kind of neat, but at the same time, I'm not a warrior main. Captain Crapface was in my chat the other day, and he said the Paragon looks like it's going to be a worse support than Berserker. And I trust him to know more on Warrior than I do. I don't know if he's right in this instance until we get our hands on it, but that was his concern that he shared. But we'll see how that turns out. Isn't that the same with Illusions and Clones from Mesmer? They also don't do damage with most specs, right? I mean, yeah, maybe. But again, I guess maybe I'm just comparing it to the Guild Wars 1 Ritualist. The Guild Wars 1 Ritualist, a very large portion of damage came from the clones. Or sorry, not clones, spirits. I misspoke. A very large portion of the damage came from spirits. But in Guild Wars 2, it seems like it's going to be kind of like when a ranger uses the hyena pet, and it's just like 100 DPS. Let's see. I'd like if Paragon got some new animation. Also, another just random thought is they mentioned that when they made the Troubadour, that they were going to take some stuff away from Chrono to bring it back to its class identity. I'm actually very curious what that means. Like when Chrono, my oldest memories of Chrono was like when it was providing quickness and alacrity, and you had to have one in every group, and people called it Chrono Jail because they didn't want to play Chrono, but they felt like they couldn't get into groups because, you know, if they weren't playing their Chrono. So I don't know what the class identity of it is if they're removing buffs from it. I don't know what that means. So anyway, that's another thought rattling around in my head. I was I was hoping spirits would be the main source of damage to the Rit too. Yeah, me also, for sure. Muck maining Ellie would be a sign of apocalypse. I would say I'm not real fond of core Ellie, and they're like really low base hit points and they're terrible downstate mechanics and stuff like that. However, I'm not real fond of core engineer. I love Scrapper. I love Mechanist. I don't care about Hollow. But it is possible that Evoker might be so much fun that I might want to play that for an expansion. I don't know. It depends on, you know, what Evoker does, if it's interesting. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what comes out. Do you have a Four Winds Festival guide? Yup. I sure do. I believe it is currently pinned at the top of the Mukluk Labs website. Yeah. Yeah, it's pinned at the top of the page, so it's right there if you need it. MuklukLabs.com. I could see Muck maining warrior support for the future. I did really like, I said before, I really liked the warrior staff healing weapon. I think it is my opinion in Secrets of the Obscure that warrior won when it came to getting new weapons. The warrior staff, I think, was the strongest in the bunch. But the downside to it is you have to be a warrior. And it really felt like the staff had such an incredible kit because the warrior brought very little to the table, so the staff had to do everything. So if the Paragon can utilize the staff even better than the existing warrior can, that's going to be crazy. We'll see how it turns out. Ink says, I'm making a ranger right now. Do I still have to find every ranger pet? Yeah, when you first make a ranger, you'll pick a pet during character creation, and then after that, you have to, you know, find them. You'll have to find them. There are a couple in Lion's Arch and a few others that are in towns and stuff like that. And also, you know, it depends. Like, do you want to get them all just as a collector, or do you just want to get the effective ones? Because there are some that are not used in literally any game mode in the game. Like, you know, I mean, there's so many, it's impossible for them to all be balanced, but there's a couple here that are not used anywhere. So if you're just trying to get the ones that are effective, you don't have to get them all. I wish they would add more weapon styles like Thief Spear. I like the mini combo system for it. Returning player here, I heard there might be a big sale in mid-August. Is that true? Hello, Dog Among Kings. The game's birthday is in August, so they often have sales at that time, and that's probably what you heard about. So I cannot promise it because they have not promised it, but that is true that is often a thing. Are you going to start the Q&A or what? I probably should. I probably should. I'm a vet collector. I have them all on Ranger. That makes sense. Thanks.
Muck.
Sure. Thank you, Chunky Otter. Appreciate you. Welcome. I have 2 of every class for Ranger because I don't want to find the pets again. After I made 1 character of every class, I started making all the additional ones. Like, whenever I get a new expansion and they give me a new character slot, I usually just make another Ranger because if I log into that character and it's parked in a treasure chest, I get jumped by something I wasn't expecting, I actually know how to fight back without having to think too much. Like, if I'm playing my thief and I get, like, knocked off a cliff, I'm like, which button is stun break? Dead. That was the Q&A. No, this was just me sliding into the regular thing, which was standing still in town and answering questions and chat. I got a question for Mystic Crafting. How do I set its API? Because mine is not working anymore. If you do exclamation... Oh, wait, hold on a sec. Mystic Crafting Module? I think... Okay. Mystic Crafting Module. To set up the API key, this video here is the main guide for Blishhud. And in the main Blishhud guide, there is a section where I cover the API thing. I watched the videos, but I'm lost. Okay. If you still need help beyond that, join their Discord. It should be pinned under that video. They are very nice, and just explain to them that you're stuck and what the problem is, and they'll help you. Why don't you play World v World Zergs? Don't you enjoy it? I have enjoyed it in the past. Like, just to, here, I'll show it. I have played many hours of World v. World, less than some people, more than others. I am currently level 416 in there. You know, Radish is level, like, 10,000 or something, but I'm level 416. I've played quite a bit of World v. World, but just lately I haven't been into it. That's it. Just been burned out on it recently. I'd be so disappointed if the LE doesn't get essentially a range up at this time around, especially given how it appears in the video. I think core LE element swap really holds it back, unfortunately. Roger, thank you. Sure. Last August sale seems to have been in 2020, 2 years, extra charge in August. New question, your try videos all seem to be in a room with a golem to test in. Where is that? Lion's Arch Aerodrome. So if you are looking at Lion's Arch, this right here is a separate zone. This manta ray looking building. And over here, there's a room here, there's an entrance there. Or if you're inside the aerodrome, there's an entrance there. And it's a testing room. It's like Special Ops Training Room. And the Special Ops Training Room has the testing golem, and also you can, like, you go to the console and give yourself buffs to simulate being in a group environment and stuff like that. Hey, Mugashad. Hi, Crimson. New question. Oh, already read that one. Also try to check the API keep. Okay. Alright. Let me get set up here, because I did say I would do this today. I need to knock this out. And then I could literally keep doing what I'm doing right now. Give me just a second. Okay. Alright. So, here we go. Alright. So, for those interested, we are about to start the monthly Q&A. It is kind of a thing that we do on this channel for a couple years now. Once per month, I basically just open the floor to questions and I answer as many as I can. I've got a list of questions here from people that are on the Discord that weren't sure if they were going to be here today. I'm going to answer all of these and then also try to answer as many from chat as I can. So if you guys have any questions about anything that you think I know the answer to, other than like, what are the 3 funky digits on the back of your credit card? Yeah, other than stuff like that, I will do my best to knock it out. So if it's Guild Wars 2 related, content creation, just whatever, adulting, I'll try. Question for monthly, why does Muck love Bram? He's a very easy to hit target. Let's see, now I never know shape of manta ray. Muck, can you tell me how safe things are like add-ons like Blish? I was afraid to set them up for not getting banned. Okay, shoot. I have a lot of eyes on me because of, like, within Guild Wars 2, I'm like big fish, small pond, right? A lot of people know who I am just within this community. If I were going to be using an add-on on stream that is going to get me banned, I guarantee you that people that dislike me would tattle on me and I would get banned really fast. I have been using Blish HUD for a couple years now and have had no problems. They do not have issues with it. In the entire time I've played Guild Wars 2, which is 6 or 7 years now, I have seen them one time contact the owner of an add-on and say, hey, we're no longer okay with this add-on existing, stop it. And they said, okay. That's it. Blish HUD, additionally, is not even an add-on. It's an overlay, which by definition is a different thing, and they have never had problems with overlays. So, if I'm using it and I'm putting it on blast that it's a great tool, you can trust that at least at this point in time, it's fine. Because I have a lot to lose if I get in trouble. I have a lot more than you to lose if I get in trouble. Let's see. Please not Catalyst with permanent spheres. Which add-on was canceled? An early version of ArcDPS that allowed you to have equipment templates saved in ArcDPS. And it was because they were coming out with equipment templates for the game, and they didn't want the add-on to be competing with the in-game stuff. Question for the Q&A, have you decided to go with Legendary IRL giveaway on the ANET event? You know, I never got a response on that. I asked ArenaNet if I, like, I've been waiting for a response on the, making, more plushies related to Guild Wars 2. I've been waiting on a response on that for, like, 4 months now. And I never got a response on, like, getting permission to do any kind of IRL giveaway at the meet and greet in Seattle. For those that don't know, August 29th, I'm actually going to touch grass for the first time in years. I'm going to Seattle Probably going to be able to do this only once in my life. It's really expensive. But going to be going out to Seattle for the Guild Wars 2 meet and greet. So if anyone lives in that area and is going to that thing, maybe I'll see you there. Maybe I can give you a high five or handshake or something. I can do the Keanu Reeves thing where I like hover my hand like way above you and then take a photo. But yeah, I reached out to them. I was like, hey, could we do like a little giveaway there? I could like, prepare some legendaries or something, but I've gotten no response at all. And I don't know what it's going to be like because I've never been to one of these things. Also, the day after that, going to go to PAX West because I've never been to those. Yes, Baz. Baz, I don't want to read that question out loud, but yes. Will the Seattle event break your streaming streak? No. I will be streaming on the day that we fly out. And then the next day, I'll have to do like a little stream from like the hotel or something. Maybe like 10 minutes from a phone or something just to keep the streak alive. I'll just be like screaming into the phone, it still counts! Yeah, I'll just be doing that. And then the next day, we're flying home and then I'll be streaming that evening. I'll be probably seriously jet lagged, but yeah. Let's see. 1 second stream, yeah. Alright, first question from the Discord list. Inbred Cat says, how are you? I'm great. I'm doing great. I'm really looking forward to the trip that we were just talking about at the end of the month. We got the Pish beta tonight. We've got the, at the time of recording this, because some people will see this in the future, tomorrow we're finding out what the last 3 elite specs are for Visions of Eternity. Things are good. Things are bumping. We are good. Seth says, is Chip doing okay? We haven't seen our furry orange overlord as often lately. It's true. Chip has, for the last like month or two, not hung out in here as often as he used to. He is right now. I can see him. There's a beanbag chair in our living room, and Chip has kind of needed a crater in it, and he is currently in it. He is currently a orange dot in the middle of a large blue beanbag chair. So he's just found a new comfy spot out there. He still occasionally comes in and visits. Boy hauls him in here against his will from time to time. But yeah, he's in his independent era. Yeah, exactly. He's a teenager now, I guess. Look, hi Wampa, thank you. He's over the fame, I guess so. We did have a funny moment related to Chip the other day. Let me see if I can pull it up. We were playing Diplomacy is Not an Option, and Chip came in and said hi, and I showed him right here. Bluebell, one of our viewers, sent me a crochet version of Chip. Hold on, the green screen's playing havoc on it. She sent me a crochet Chip along with some other stuff. There was also like a Pokeball for Boy, and there was like a crochet flower for my wife and stuff like that. But I showed it to him, and there was a period of time where the top stream for Diplomacy is Not an Option, the preview thumbnail on Twitch, was Chip investigating Chip. He was sniffing it a whole bunch and checking it out. So he gave it the seal of approval after some time. Yeah, that was I think that was the last time he was on stream. That was the other day. Chip smells Chip. Yup. Finally, they're gonna give literally any information on Revan Engineer. Yep, information tomorrow. They're trying frantically to come up with something today. Ha. Chunky says, what is your most favorite legendary weapon? In terms of graphics alone, Binding of Ippos, I think, is the coolest looking one in the game. If you haven't seen it, give me just a second. Let me see. Ippos. Okay. Oh, it's not. Okay, I would have to character swap. Basically, there's a book, this book right here, and when you enter combat, the book flies in front of you, and the book is open, like it's open in the air in front of you, and your spells fire out of the book. And also, it makes your left arm become demonic because Ippos is like a demon. I think this is the coolest legendary in the game. It's a focus, so not many classes can use it. But that's my favorite one in terms of graphics. What's the best class of the game and why is it Firebrand? It's Firebrand because Firebrand, for their class mechanic, gets like, okay, you know what a Soul Beast class mechanic is? It's let's get rid of the pet. You're not even a ranger anymore. You're a green warrior. A Firebrand's class mechanic is F1 is a weapon swap, F2 is a weapon swap, and F3 is a weapon swap. So they go from having, 5 buttons plus 5 on their other weapon to then 5 on their F1, 5 on their F2, and 5 on their F3. So Firebrand gets 25 weapon skills. No one else can keep up with that. There's no other class in the game that has as much utility as that. And that is before they spend a single trait point in here. Before they've spent any trait points, before they have any skills on their bar, they have 25 weapon skills. Ellie has 20, and most of them don't do much. Like one, okay, here's the thing. One of the Firebrand's skills pumps out constant stability. Constant stability. Not like one transmute earth, here's one stability, come back in an hour. Constant stability. Another one puts a giant reflect bubble on the field. Another one, and they could do that multiple times in a row, back to back to back, you know? Like, another one pumps out resistance. There's more that do damage. There's some that do Conduit Cleanser. Some that do healing. Like, it's an insane kit. And I don't know how they could possibly, like, balance around that without like, it's like whether you play a heal brand or a quick brand or a burn brand, you have access to all of those tools no matter what traits or utilities you bring. That's wild. That's absolutely wild. Why can Firebrand provide the bubble, AoE, stun, break, protection, toughness, healing, swiftness, Aegis on just their Tome 3? Yeah. Your argument is the Ellie weapon skill should be improved? Absolutely, yes. Like, half of the Ellie skills are just, like, a teeny bit of damage with a different coat of paint. Like, it's not, like, even, you know, different utility. Let's see. Did you count Ellie downstate skills? If I do, I have to count Guardian downstate skills. What's the best farm for volatile magic without the infinite tools? Just unlock the content. Best volatile magic farm without infinite tools. Eternal Ice? Eternal Ice farm, probably. You can turn Eternal Ice into volatile magic with just a couple of part characters and start generating a lot each day for a few minutes a day. There's a video on that if you're interested. Season of the Dragons, yeah, if you do the Season of the Dragons content for the Legendary Amulet, you do get a bunch during your journey. Does 4 Winds start today? I don't know. I know it starts soon. Okay, you know what? Illusionist Zarin in chat says yes, so I'm going to just trust him. He says yes. Path of Fire Sky Skill versus Soto Sky Skill. If you're making one for the first time, do the Soto one first because it's much, much faster. And then you can do the other one and it will take less time. You eventually want to have both because they each have different masteries. So if I go to masteries here, Path of Fire, Sky Scale has stuff here. What this is also required for the Legendary Vision. And then Secrets of the Obscure also has Sky Scale stuff here. And so you need to eventually get both so that you get all of the skills on your Sky Scale. But if you just are trying to get it, Soto's faster. Okay. Let's see. Lovely Sola says, what toy did you hate most as a child? What? What toy? Okay, I didn't have any toys of mine that I hated, but if you're just saying what toy in the general sense, probably Chucky. I watched it by accident as a kid, and it gave me actual nightmares for weeks. So, the Chucky doll. That thing horrified me. In a very real way. Weird question. Let's see. What is Dragonfall? It's a map that's just constantly going, basically. Alright, Seth says, are you planning to make each of the new legendaries and Visions of Eternity? I don't know. If so, you might need a couple more Gifts of Battle, most likely 3 for the new weapons and 1 for each of the new ring accessory. I don't believe any of the existing rings or accessories in the game required Gifts of Battle. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong. How many do I have right now? Are they in my bank right now? Hang on. Let me see. I have 3 Gifts of Battle right now. Conflux required a Gift of Battle. Okay, well, Conflux required... If Conflux is built in World v. World, so that's kind of makes sense. Vision and Aurora do. Do they?
Oh, we're Fusion! We're Fusion! Oh my god, we're Fusion so hard!
Yeah, Puge comes back tonight, chat. Conflux needs 5 gifts. What? Bull crap. I do not believe that. Funny you should mention Chucky. I was watching the sequels while I was making Yarn Ship. What the heck? So it's infused with horror. No wonder he slapped it. Unless they're gonna require a gift of the mist, they won't be any gifts of battle. Conflicts needs 5 gifts. Are you serious? Hang on a sec. Hang on a second. Hold on. Why is this not... What? Okay, I guess that section's not working. Alright, anyway, let's go over here. Hold on, I'm checking out conflicts here. Alright, what do we need? Okay. You need, let's see, Mist Pearl, 250 memories of battle. Okay. Memories of battle, okay. 1 gift of battle for a gift of the mist for conflicts. Okay. You know what? You're right. You do need 5 gifts of battle for it. Mother Mugger, I forgot about that. See, I think I had suppressed this memory. Yeah, okay. Conflicts does need 5 gifts of battle. Alright. Well, in any case, back to the question. Are you planning on making each legendary? Alright, what do we know about the legendaries? I believe they mentioned that there was 3 legendary weapons. There was the Rebreather. There was the, was it a ring and an accessory? So, there's a possibility that I might need like 6 gifts. Also, I don't know that I'm going to make all of them. For example, when I did the guide for making legendary obsidian armor, I didn't make a whole set. I just made 1 item and I used that footage to make the guide. So, like, the 3 weapons, if they're made in the same fashion, I'll just do a guide on one of them and say, you know, this applies to all 3 of these. The other stuff we'll see. So yeah, I might need a couple more. That is true. I might need a couple more. Did any of the new legis require gift of battle? When they added the Generation 3 legis and End of Dragons, those required gifts of battle. The ones that all look like Oreen's back. Question, what is the best class for PvE that uses light armor? If you're trying to, like, join groups and be wanted in a group right now, probably Mesmer? Chrono? But if you're talking, like, solo in the open worlds, I might lean toward Necro. And if you want to be, like, a floor ornament, the other one. No, I'm kidding. The LE can be played well, but I would say it does have a higher skill cap. The only legend you need to have a full complete set is the Aqua Breather, so you'd have to make that. Oh, that's another thing. The Aqua Breather might come in light, medium, and heavy armor. Does everybody remember that Aqua Breathers have armor weights? So it's possibly that if you want to get Aqua Breathers for your whole account, that might be 3 legendaries. Like this one, for example, you can see 5th line from the bottom, it says medium. So if there's a medium, light, and heavy Aqua Breather, then that might be 3 more legis. So, if that's the case, then the question is, I would doubt it would need a gift of battle because it's armor, and armor doesn't require gifts of battle. Club Jarny need a gift of battle, so I suspect new legend weapons do too. Yeah, all weapons so far have needed a gift of battle, I believe. Legendary gathering tools. Yeah. I'm about to make an extra charge. Should I make a ranger or an LA? I'm gonna say ranger. You know my favorite. Let's see. All right, next one. Inbred says why? Why not? Soma VR stream win. Soma virtual reality stream? Muck you, Notice Seraph. Are you kidding me? Okay, Soma was a wild game. Like, that was one of those where, like, I had to pause the game and think and try to decide if something was right or wrong. Like, I had to reevaluate my definitions for what is right and what is wrong with some of the decisions that you had to make in that game. Also, it's a very dark and spooky game. And it is my opinion, you could take any game and put it in VR, and it's now a horror game. Because it's just like, you're too close to it. Everything can be scary. Like, okay, Subnautica. I didn't think Subnautica was a scary game. You make me play it in VR, I'm probably going to knock my desk over. It's going to be a bad time. So no, I do not want to play Soma in VR. Do not want to. Let's see. Any future releases you're looking forward to? All Will Fall, Clockwork Revolution, The Pedestrian, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silksong, Beyond All Reason, Stormgate, Industrial Annihilation, Titan Quest 2, Zero Space, Bendy in the Cage, Crystalla, and maybe Reanimal. I have a note on my other screen. I added things to it. And Guild Wars 3. Sure, if Guild Wars 3 is coming out, then yeah, that too. You can't say Subnautica is not a scary game, even if not in VR. I can say that. I cleared it. Hold on. I gotta show receipts here. Alright, Subnautica, 91 hours. We played it through like 2 or 3 times because it was fun. Below Zero, 26 hours. It was less fun, but I finished it. Alright, so yeah, I've got 110 hours of Subnautica in my belt. Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. I do not think it was a scary game. But it was, my kid even played it when he was like friggin' 7. He enjoyed it as well. But if I were wearing like VR goggles and like, you know, the giant underwater fish things were sneaking up on me and they jump scared me, yeah, I'd probably have a problem. This is coming from someone with aslophobia. Well, of course people with fear of water are going to think the water game is scary. Hi, Mukluk Douglas, Bartholomew, Reginald Esquire the Fourth. Will you make any series when you get from zero to rich and walk us poor peasants along how to do it? I have so many videos on that. I literally, a home instance, if not yours, then someone else's, and guild halls. Like, I literally spend 10 minutes a day logging in and picking up all that money off the ground, and then I give it away every Tuesday, and I still have thousands of gold, and it's going up. I'm not joking. That's literally it. If you have alts that you're not using, park them at treasure chests. Log in, open box, log out each day. Once a month, mail it all to your bank or something. That's it. You genuinely get so much money doing that. It's just that everybody thinks I'm lying about it, and they don't listen. What is VR? Virtual reality. It's when, you know, like when we were a kid and your mom said don't sit too close to the TV, it'll ruin your eyes. Now we just take the TV and we put it like right there. Okay. Let's see. Can you add the crab rave emote? I did that by request. Can you show what your Asura plushie prototype looks like in IRL with plush chips sitting in his lap? Okay. I mean, sure. He's back here because we were working on getting him attached to the shoulder harness thing for the con. Bop. Bop. There we go. It's done. Request fulfilled. Hold on. Don't fall down. Okay. Glorious. Yes. Alright. Seth says if you use. Okay. That one is done. Why do you keep lying to us about making gold? Yeah, you're right. It's all stolen credit cards. I'm just converting gold to ectos every day. That's it. 21k gold after buying 2 bloodstone infusions the last 2 weeks. Muck's not lying. Yeah. It's literally like 10 minutes a day. Because you guys even know, I only really play Guild Wars 2 on Tuesdays anymore. Unless there's like special events going on. So like Tuesdays, I'm online like the whole day. But on all the other days, it's just 10 minutes a day. Okay. Let's see. Green screen? Yeah, we were doing so much. Trying to buy my first legendary chess piece as a casual is rough. Take your time with it. Like, legendaries, if you just take your time, like, for example, if you're like, oh, I need 1,000 lumber, you know, just keep playing the game and that will, like, keep trickling in over time. Or you could buy it all, but then it's, like, a big expense to do that all at once. Please, sir, can I have some karma? I got 16,000 karma. Or 16 million karma, sorry. Gotta have gold to make gold classic. Not true. Not true. I have alt accounts. I don't bother doing this anymore. I haven't bothered doing this in a year, but I do have alt accounts, and I used to log in each day on those, farm a home instance. I would just go pop in town and be like, yo, can I use yours? And I would just join someone else's, farm it all, and do the guild hall nodes. Okay? The only money I had to have to get started there is buying gathering tools from a merchant for a few silver. That's it. And then all the money they made, I would just mail to my main account, which is like a few hundred gold each month. This is truly not a have to have gold to make gold thing. Now, if you misunderstood what I was saying and you were like, oh, Muck's saying we have to build our whole home instance, that costs 10 billion gold, then yeah, you're stupid because you didn't listen to me. I said, yeah, you can do that, or you could just borrow someone else's each day, which is what I used to do daily with my alt accounts. What about Ecto Gamble? Do not do that. If you're trying to make money, don't do that. If it brings you joy and you're having fun, go for it. Okay? But if you're trying to make money, I do not recommend Ecto Gambling. Mike, did the PC problems stop? That weird one related to the CPU. Shugo, fingers are crossed. The bottom line is, while playing only Guild Wars 2, my computer would just sometimes reboot. And it happened 4 times in a month. And every time it happened, I went online, I Googled error codes, I found people that had the same problem, and I tried some of their solutions. So every time it happened again, I attempted more changes to my system to try to combat that issue. The last time it happened was with Grounded. When we've tried to play Grounded 2 during the early access, it would occasionally crash the whole stream. And part of that was because of Grounded. It had an issue with crossplay that was crashing the game, but it would also take down my video card for a second, so it would close the stream as well. And again, every time this happened, we made a couple of tweaks to settings to try to fix it. Now, it hasn't happened since the Grounded 2 thing over a week ago. Fingers crossed that's it. Overheat. I think it's something with the video card. But again, every time it has happened, we made a few more tweaks. We updated some drivers. We, changed a few things in the BIOS a couple times. One time we even like pulled out the RAM and reseated all the RAM just to make sure it was secure. So we did some physical stuff as well. But yeah, hopefully it's fixed. But it's a time will tell type of issue. Let's see. Be careful here, folks. Muck's hands are rated E for everyone. He'll call you stupid. I mean, a little. Like, you gotta keep in mind, right? I have had streams where, like, the stream title will be like, giveaway at 7. And then there'll be a pin at the top of the chat that says giveaway at 7. And then there's a bot that's every 5 minutes saying giveaway at 7 in the chat. And then I'll also have stuff that's, like, on top of the... Like, I'll have stuff in the middle of the screen like this that says giveaway at 7. And people join in all the time and be like, hey, when's the giveaway? Like, streaming feels more like parenting than parenting feels like parenting. Because I repeat the same stuff a million times. It doesn't matter. Alright, so yeah, I will not hesitate. When's the giveaway then? It's tonight. Hi DPS, hi Ortnium. Couple of my Black Lion deliveries give me the food items which are used for the new Leggy backpack. I put them on the TP and have been making 3 to 4 gold a day. Nice. You know, the alt park spot in Crystal Oasis, there's been 3 separate days where I logged in, open box, logged out, and I got a 20 gold item. This one right here, Sanctum Nabka. One of my people, there's 3 chests there. So you log in, pop, 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 open all 3, log out. And that character, it always makes me a few gold a day, but on 3 specific days, he got me 20 gold because he got a music box out of him. So that one's really good too. To add to Muck's point, farming home instance is easier than ever. Back in the day, you had to find someone sharing their instance, then join the instance with them, and then they didn't give their home for the rest of the day. Now you can just join a party 24/7 on Party Finder and right-click join them. Whatever the one has the castle in the middle that also gives a ton of experience, and it seemed like there were 3 crews just trading it with each other, so it's kind of cool. Oh, Eternal Battlegrounds. Never made money before Yours 2, but I started playing with my friend, and now I'm making City Gold, and my brain can't understand why. Well, I mean, the game is very generous with loot, right? Especially metas and stuff. If you're just playing and actively doing and killing things and looting things, you will get a lot, and it just piles up. Let's see. You're just trying to get portable vendor. You'd probably spend a lot more than it costs just to buy the Black Line one. Yeah. Could be lucky just dropping Infusion. I actually know, there was, hold on, let me gather my thoughts here. So I've got the portable bank access, right? At the time that I wanted this, like, you know, this is super late game, right? Portable access to your bank for your whole account. I wanted this, and at the time, it was worth like, I don't know, 5k gold or something like that. Let's just say 5k. It was worth 5k gold. And I wanted to get it, and I was saving up for it. And a guy in my chat was like, hey, I just got a black line key from when I turned level 10 and then did my story. And I'm on my first character, and I just got that thing you wanted. I'm like, you're joking. And he goes, no, and he links it to me. And he's like, would you like to buy it? And I'm like, I can't afford it right now. It's 5k, and I'm just almost at 4. And he goes, I don't know what I would do with 5k. How about I sell it to you for 4? I'm a big fan. I'm like, are you serious? 1k off? And he's like, yeah. So I was like, okay. And I explained to him, I was like, all right, so listen, there is a mail limit in the game. If I mail you all this money, it'll take weeks to all like be retrievable from your mailbox. It'll all just be sitting in your inbox and you just pull it out bit by bit. And he's like, I don't know what I would possibly use all this money for right now anyway. So I got a little bit of a discount when I bought the portable bank thing because someone was a fan. But literally, his first black line key. Can you imagine that, chat? Imagine starting Guild Wars, your first black line key gets you 4,000 gold. He never had to worry about anything ever again. Like his sky scale, Griffin, whatever. He never had to worry about any of that ever again. When is the next Elite Spec reveal? Tomorrow they are doing the blog post with the last 3. That's like 3 leggies? Yeah, it was. Streamer privilege? Well, he wasn't a streamer. Hey, JCB. Do you have a video explaining chest locations to make gold and how to get to them? Exclamation Daily has a guide to the things I do each day that keeps me rich. And that includes all my favorite alt parking locations. Yeah. It's basically, I farm my homestead, I farm my guild halls, and I swap to characters that are parked at treasure chests, open chests, and log out. It's like 10 seconds per character. And all of that adds up to a lot of gold per day. How many alts? I think I've got 7 or 8 parked. But even if you only have 1 alt that you're not playing, you can put it next to a box and boom, money each day. I'm very new to Guild Wars 2. I see you have a ton of icons at the top left. What do they do? G-Mike, it's basically an overlay, kind of like add-ons. It's like one of them allows me to see what events are happening in the game at any time. It's the same as if you go to the event finder or the event table page on the wiki, but it just displays it in game. One is a mount wheel where I hold button, and then at whatever one I release it on, I'll get on that mount, so I can access all my mounts from 1 key instead of having to have 9 different keybinds. Stuff like that. But yeah, it's just useful little add-ons. They're not part of the game. Let's see. Okay. Andros from Discord says, of the used to be PlayStation exclusive games you've played, which have been your favorites? Highlights/disappointments. I don't know, of the games I've played, which ones used to be PlayStation exclusive. I'm pretty sure God of War used to be PlayStation exclusive. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow console news that much. God of War was fun. Spider-Man was fun. I think that might have been PS. You played Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, Ghost of Tsushima was a good game. That one was quite enjoyable as well. Yes, I like that one. Last of Us. I haven't played Last of Us. Last of Us, I tried to get. I know everybody says such great things about it. I'm still spoiler free. I haven't watched the Netflix show either. I bought Last of Us, and for some reason, the main menu on PC makes my graphic card spike to 100% usage. And I troubleshooted it for like 2 hours on web forums and stuff and like Reddit. I couldn't find a solution for it, and I refunded the game. So I still, at some point in time, I need to try to buy it again and play it again. What GPU do you have? What's more important is what GPU did I have at the time, and I don't recall. I don't remember what GPU I had at the end. But yeah, it's just like the main menu of the game, when it was ported to PC, was like murdering my graphics card. What elite specs will be shown on Friday? The elite specs shown on Friday will be for Revenant, NG, and Ellie. We know Ellie is a Voker. We don't know the other two. There will be a blog post tomorrow with more information. Troubleshooted? Would that be like troubleshot? It's something like that. Play Last of Us in stream. I would love to. It's just, you know, can I get it to work? I am interested in doing that. Mock question, what are the best things to spend volatile magic on other than material shipments? I already have the teleporter, scrolls, and tomes, and rewinder. If it were me, the nodes to the home instance, if you plan to do that, if you're using someone else's, then, you know, ignore this. But the nodes to the home instance, if you don't have them. And besides that, hold on, I'm sorry, what? I guess we're getting Tengu. Rejoice! Alright, what were we talking about? I lost my train of thought. Volatile magic. Yeah, the nodes of the home stuff. And if you've already got those, you don't need them. I honestly just do like material shipments. But you could always just like, you know, save a like amount of it. Like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna get material shipments, but I'm gonna save like, you know, 10K just in case there's something weird I want. It's a Gale shot. Yeah, there's a Gale shot. Mug, you should completely reinstall NVIDIA drivers with DDU. Maybe that fixed the problem. Installing every driver from NVIDIA without from scratch gives a lot after some time. Yeah, I think I did that last year. The story I told you about Last of Us, that was years ago. That was a few years ago. That was like right when it was ported to PC. And it was a train wreck. But yeah, it's been a while since I have tried that again. Have you tried playing Last of Us through GeForce Now? Last time I checked, it wasn't on GeForce Now. I don't know if it is now. Listening to you on Twitch, liking you on YouTube so you get some pennies. Thanks, DC. Okay. Let's see. Have you played Uncharted? No. I've watched other people play Uncharted, though, so I know. I'm familiar with it. I don't know that it's my thing. There's a lot of different genres I like. I love RPGs. That includes RPG, MMORPG, CRPG, ARPG. I love RTS games, like top-down, controlling armies, building up cities, stuff like that. You know, StarCraft, Warcraft, Command & Conquer, Total War, stuff like that. And then a few other things, like occasionally I'll like stuff outside of that, like puzzles and stuff like that. Don't really like sports ball, don't really like racing. So there's a lot of stuff I like. There's horror. I do not love horror. I play horror because I like entertaining you guys, and you guys love watching me not like horror. Okay? There's a difference, but I tolerate horror to entertain my audience. It's not that I like that. It's that I like you liking that I don't like that. That's it. So yes, we've got a lot of horror playthroughs recorded on Mukluk Plays. We'll have some more in October. Well, honestly, there was someone who gifted me, like, okay, from Raven's Watch down to, no, not Raven's Watch, sorry. From April 24th, Floor 9, September 7th, Crimson Snow, Amanda the Adventurer 2, From the Darkness, Days Gone. I think all of these are like 2-hour-long horror games. Someone just sent me all of these. So, that's October, or part of it. We'll play through those. And we'll see what else we can find. You liked The Evil Within. I'm gonna make a slight adjustment to that. Evil Within was like an okay game with a banger ending. It was like, it was an okay game with some horror, and then at the end of it, they, like, the big reveal was like, oh, that's so good. Are you serious? And dude, it was like there was breadcrumbs that they had laid along the way, and then when they tied it all together, I was like, oh, you clever girl. You know, like, it was an incredible ending. So I would say among the horror games I've played, that was my favorite ending because it was just like, it was so amazing. It hit hard. It took me 40 days to beat Days Gone. Oh, I thought that one was like another short one. My bad. You like to entertain us, so by that you like horror, though, indirectly. At Muck, help, please. I'm trying to stat change my Cynic gear into Minstrel, but the Minstrel Intricate Gossamer Insignia turns the gear into McLean. I can't find the correct one for Minstrel stats. Okay, hold on. So when you use the Minstrel Intricate Gossamer Insignia, do they get Minstrel stats? Don't mind the name of the item. Do they get toughness, vitality, healing power, concentration? If, like, for example, there's a set of gear called Zoja's blah blah, and it's Berserkers. Like, it's power, precision, ferocity. But Zoja's is just the name of the set, because she's angry all the time. So, you might be fine. A couple people chat saying they think McLean's is right. Sorry, my bad. No, it's no problem. Hey, no, hopefully that puts your mind at ease. Yeah, as long as it's got the right stats, you're golden. But yeah, McLean's is just the name of the set. I love Zoja's voice actor. Felicia Day. Yeah, she good. I almost feel bad at your discomfort. That's okay. There's a reason we have the jump scare noises. I buy a lot of ramen on the days that I do horror games for you guys. And I should probably be investing in a pacemaker or something, but yeah. They're good for business, bad for my heart. Hey Muck, first time Leggy armor, which Leggy weight class would give you the most benefit if you wanted to play all roles, heavy, medium, and light? Okay, I mean, if you play all roles equally, then there is no correct answer here. So my question to you is, do you play any more of them slightly than others? Do you play, like, Thief and Ninja more than you play Guardian or Necro, you know? So if there's one of them that you play more than others, get that one. If not that, get the one you think is sexiest. That's it. That's honestly it. If there's one that's more usable than others, get the one that's more usable. If there's not one more usable than others, get the one that you think is hot, and then you'll go from there. Hi, thanks to the stream. Hello, Tuber. Thank you for being here. All right, let me grab another question. Nemo says, what's your favorite and least favorite on-stream and off-stream game so far this year, exclude Guild Wars 2? My favorite off-stream game this year is between Darktide, which my kid actually got into, and I played a lot of this with the boy, or Total War Warhammer 3, which I have passed 1,000 hours in since last year. I have played a lot of this. This has become very enjoyable for me. So off stream, it's those. Darktide, for anyone who hasn't played it, is first person. It's you and 3 of your friends or 3 people you pug with versus a mission. And the mission is PvE. You're not fighting other players, but it's like 4 dudes versus the world. And kind of like, Deep Rock Galactic or Vermintide. The 4 of you are on a mission, you gotta go do it, and there's a million monsters that are gonna try to stop you. Very fun game, I really like it. Vermintide scratches the same itch. Total War is a big strategy game. You're looking at a big overhead map, and then you're you're moving armies around on that map. But then if you get into a battle, it actually looks like this. Like, this is a cinematic, but they use the in-game engines for this. This is how the people look in the game. But you've got you can literally zoom in and basically, get yourself, recorded cutscenes like these while you're playing. It's a really, really enjoyable game. And there's so many factions. There's, 50 factions or something, so I have been doing different playthroughs of like all these different groups and stuff like that. It's great. Anyway, yeah, that's been my not so guilty pleasure off stream, is playing repeated campaigns of Total War Warhammer 3. But yeah, if you like the kind of stuff I like, big recommend on that one. Okay. Dead by Daylight dating sim win. Oh god. So for Valentine's, the last time we did a dating sim game, we played the... What was the one where you dated your weapons? Like you met people that could turn into weapons, and they'd be like, oh, don't touch my hilt, oh. Whatever the hell that one was called. We played that one. And yeah, it was cringy. We laughed a lot. We got through it. We played that one. It was called Boyfriend Dungeon. There you go. Boyfriend Dungeon. Yeah, we played that. I don't miss it. You know what? Real talk, I think I've played 3 dating sims, 4 if you count Doki Doki Lit Club, but I feel like that's more of a psychological horror. We've played 4 dating sims, I think. The one that I actually enjoyed, like I remember I was laughing until my sides hurt, was that freaking Kentucky Fried Chicken one. That one, I was in tears. It was so funny. And so I actually had a great time. What is it? What is it called? Dang it. KFC? Search Colonel Sanders. I love you, Colonel Sanders. A finger-licking good dating sim. This one. The whole thing is just to sell chicken. It's just younger, more attractive Colonel Sanders, and he's at, like, chef school, and you're another student there at chef school, and you're trying to, like, win chef school and also win his heart at the same time, but his heart belongs to chicken. It was, dude, honestly, I think that one's free on Steam, because they just want you to, like, play it and get a hankering for chicken. I do recommend it, like, if you just want to laugh. It's silly. It is absolutely silly. Was that the one with Sweaty Daddy Muck? Yes, I named my character in that Daddy Mukluk, so all the other people addressed me as Daddy Mukluk, and it made it even funnier. And yeah, that was that playthrough. That clip is from that game. Chicken is the other bird dating simulator. What are your top 10 stories in games? Buddy, I played 110 games last year and 100 the one year before. I've probably played over 1,000 different worlds in my life. Top 10. Okay, I'm gonna... Without spending a lot of time on this, I'm gonna tell you some that just jump to mind right now, okay? Expedition 33, yeah, that was fantastic. Living World Season 4, specifically, of Guild Wars 2, was really good. Soma was really good. The big twist at the end of what was the horror game that we were talking about just a minute ago? Crap. Evil Within. Evil Within had a really awesome, like, big twist at the end. That was one. Tactical Breach Wizards. This little indie game we played recently. This had incredible storytelling. Like, yo, I love Guild Wars 2. This had better storytelling than the last 2 expansions of Guild Wars 2. It was really freaking good. Despite the fact that the people don't even have faces. Like, the emotions they showed was incredible. Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3. Great storytelling. What else? There's a lot here. There's a lot of game. Oh, Yakuza Like a Dragon. I've only played 2 Yakuza games so far. That one, the gameplay was fine. The story was immaculate. The storytelling was insane. Like, this one, I was shocked at how good the story of this was. I was absolutely blown away. Dragon Age Origins. I have played every every Dragon Age game. And Dragon Age Origins was a good story. I would not say that it's like in my top 10. Fantastic game, very much enjoyed it. Would not say it's one of my top 10. It's good. It's good. Split Fiction. This one was incredible. This one we did in the last year. I think if it wasn't for Expedition 33, this had a chance of winning Game of the Year. I think it would have been between this and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But then Expedition 33 came out. Looking to see if there's any others that catch my eye. And again, I enjoyed a lot of these that I played. But as far as, like, you're asking me top 10. So I'm, like, putting it on a high bar right now. Was Baldur's Gate any good? But Baldur's Gate 3 was fantastic. God of War? Good game, good storytelling. Wouldn't say it's a top 10. And again, I've played so many that I'm putting the bar really high right now. Like, for example, God of War was very predictable. Like, they tell you, like, oh, yeah, our goal is to go kill this guy. And then they would go kill that guy, right? Like, there wasn't any, like, big major twists or anything like that. There was some small twists, but there wasn't anything that, like, you know, made my brain go, you know? Oh, hey, there's Guild Wars 2. Looking. Hatoful boyfriend. Layers of Fear was a horror game about a painting. That one had a very memorable twist at the end. That was like, oh my god. You know, it's like you were looking through the whole game up to that point through a filter and you didn't realize it. That one had a very memorable twist. So that was good in that manner. Titanfall's campaign was only like 6 hours long. Extremely memorable. I understand now why Titanfall fans are so mad that they didn't get more games. Yeah, Titanfall 2's campaign was insanely memorable. Really good. The fastball special, yeah. Let's see if I can find one more. You know what? Hold on. I got a weird one for you. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous has a DLC for it called Inevitable Excess. That DLC had... Oh, this is it right here. This DLC had a moment.
Is under threat.
It... Like, I want to tell you, but if I tell you, it'll spoil the whole thing. But it's like, you're playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. You're playing the base game of Pathfinder, which, if for anyone who hasn't played it, it's like Baldur's Gate 3. And right before the final climactic thing, you're plucked out of time. And your characters are now trying to get back. And you learn some truths about the game that kind of shatter your view of the game. But they fit in perfectly. Like, it wasn't just like, you know, some guy just summoned a rat and the rat just pulled a guitar out of his butt cheeks and then you play the guitar. No, it made sense. And it was like, oh my god. So this one... For me, and dude, it's even got mixed reviews. Honestly, I think all the people that like rated this thing as like poor, they didn't understand it. So, like, that's my honest thought. Is like anyone that gave this a bad review didn't get it, and it was so like mind blowing. And I remember that there was an achievement, and it was called like Learn the Truth, and you get it like an hour into the DLC. And when you would get that achievement, I remember it said for me, it was like, oh, only 0.1% of people have this achievement. I'm like, really? Because a lot of them are making reviews saying they seem to know what they're talking about. They haven't even gotten to the truth yet? Okay. So I was like, all right. But yeah, that'll be the last one for now, because we're spending a lot of time on that question. But that one was shockingly good for a DLC rotting. The Hideo Kojima defense. Yeah, they don't get it. They just don't get it. Now, hey, look, there's a lot of games I don't get. Okay, I'm one of the kind of people, right? If I play friggin' Lies of P or Elden Ring, I gotta go listen to someone on YouTube explain it to me for an hour. Okay? I didn't get those stories on my playthrough, and I admit that. There are some that are just too freaking obscure.
Good evening.
But not clear obscure. That one wasn't very obscure. I got that one. Muck, what are your expectations for the 2 Elite Spec reveals tomorrow? Rev is going to be channeling Drubert, and they will be able to get really angry if you don't give them money. Engineer is going to become, Oppenheimer, and they are going to become a nuclear physicist. It's going to be good. Okay, let's see. Another question from the Discord. What do we got? What is your favorite and least... Oh, wait, I already read that one. Any planned updates for the studio? What? Did you just mean, like, my office? What do you mean, the studio? Alright, so this question is from Sindrak. I'm just gonna assume he means my office. No. No, the last update I did is I put up a shelf to hold my little awards that I was happy about. That's it. LED strips in the background, classic streamer setup. No, dude. No, miss me with that. For those that don't know, I painted the wall behind me green because I was tired of wrestling with a green screen. And we're good now. We just have a green screen wall, that's it. Decorating complete. It's done. Yes, I did mean that. Okay. Well, that's it then. Festival announce. Yeah, I need to relog. I'll have to do it now though. I need to relog at some point. Good idea on the wall. Yeah, that was the first time I ever painted anything. I have a whole new respect. Hi, Noxxi. I have a whole new respect for painters, because that was freaking exhausting. You need another shelf for all your game swag? Dude, I would need a lot of shelf. The thing is... Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can show it. I have a pile of stuff behind me. I need to figure out a better place for it. Hold on, chat. I'm going to show you my mess here, okay? All right. So, see all that stuff back there? And the pile continues in the other direction, all right? Like, that's the crate from Dredge. That's a hat that someone sent me. This is a box from Homeworld. It's got a freaking MRE in it. That box there, I think that might have been the one that the YouTube play button came in? No, wait, no, that's something different. I don't know what that is. That's the Twitch Bleed Purple statue box. That's the YouTube play button thing. That's the plushie prototype. That's a box from Black Myth Wukong. I've gotten 2 of those. That is a container of fancy ramen that someone sent me. There's a toolbox behind it from Pacific Drive. There's a Warhammer gauntlet over here from Warhammer. Like, I gotta find a place to put this stuff. I need like a big glass cabinet or something to put them in. I have a lot of really cool swag people have sent me, and I need to figure out like a place to set it up. Homeworld 3 was a letdown. Okay, as someone who has not played Homeworld 1 and 2, I enjoyed Homeworld 3. I had fun with it. But I don't know. I think a lot of people saying it was a letdown had played the first games, and they said it was missing features, which I didn't see. Mark, there's patch notes. Oh boy! Hold on, I'll open it in a new tab and I'll leave it open. Okay. Alright, it is open. Alright. Okay. I'm down to the last few questions on Discord, so if you got any last, if you guys got any more to throw in before we finish up with the Q&A, throw it in. Disturbed Angel says, from a workflow / behind the scenes side of things, how would you like to grow or change things in the next year to 18 months? Obviously not top secret plans, but overall. Oh man, I thought I might try streaming every day. How would I like to grow or change things? I honestly just continue what I'm doing, but try to be as, successful as possible. So, like, I'm still going to keep streaming every day. Still focusing on Guild Wars 2 on Tuesdays and Variety on the other days. I want to keep doing game reviews. I really enjoy making those. I recently started the series Did You Know? I hope some of you have seen those. I hope some of you enjoyed them. I've made, I think, 5 so far with Noxxi's help. And I want to keep finding other really cool moments from the Guild Wars franchise, be it games or books, and making more of those, because I've gotten good feedback on those. Plus, I get to kind of double dip with those. Whenever I make one of those, I try to make them 3 minutes or less, so that I can put it as a YouTube video and also as a short, so it's hitting 2 different audiences, and that's been doing pretty well. Let's see, the plushies. Our second plushie is currently they're producing the prototype, literally right now. I'm waiting on the prototype of the Minion plushie, the channel icon, the guy holding the potion bottle. They're working on a plushie of that for anyone who might be interested. And I've also, months ago, I submitted a request to ArenaNet asking for permission to make more plushies within their universe. Things like Baby Aurene, Blish, Chibi Tybalt, stuff like that. I would love to make more of those, but I'm waiting on them for that. So that's something else I would love to happen, but having to wait on them at the, having to wait on them for that to happen. That's the main thing. I mean, like, I still want to keep streaming. I still want to keep making the YouTube videos that we're making right now. Which is, videos of, like, guides for any time something that needs a guide comes out. Just news updates, game reviews I enjoy, the Did You Know series, occasionally doing, like, a, low-intensity guide if I see a good build for it. Stuff like that. Obviously, making tweaks here and there as a content creator, like make this thumbnail a little better, make this title more eye-catchy, make it clickbait, just to try to get more numbers, just to be more successful, stuff like that. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Baby Aurene plush would look adorable. Yeah, it would, but you need their permission for that one. Jeremy says, do you go over the new stuff with the patch notes yet? I have not gone over that yet. Soon. Okay. Nemo says, after the showcase of the Paragon, could you see yourself actually playing Warrior through this expansion with staff heal? Maybe. I would say the idea of me hit weapon skills to fill adrenaline bar, me spin adrenaline to burst, me spin burst to motivation, me spin motivation to buff you. That honestly doesn't sound that fun. However, the Warrior Staff was really fun. So it's like, I might be willing to look past the juggling of all that resource management to play Warrior Staff, because it was so good. So I would absolutely try support Paragon and see how it feels to me. And who knows? Maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe I will. Drake says, have you seen the group in Vuln ult? It's wild. It's very short duration. It's 3 seconds on you, 2 seconds on teammates. And so yeah, you really gotta time it well if you're trying to use that to counter something like, Veil Guardian Green or something like that. But yeah, it could be really good at the right moment. Emnil says, I want to play Rogue Trader. Great choice. Do I need to know something to really enjoy it, or can I just create whatever character and go? What's up, Emnil? No. For your first playthrough, I would say definitely play it on, like, normal mode, unless you're a very, very experienced CRPG player. But I would say you don't really need to know much else before you jump into it. No. I've even told folks that have never played a Warhammer 40k that it can be their first game in Warhammer 40k. Just, if you see something you don't know what it is, there's usually a tooltip you can mouse over and get more information. Is there a way to get Superior Rune of the Monk quickly? Superior Rune of the Monk. So that's the one where you need, like, dungeon currency? I mean, I think that one just comes from dungeons, or if you do, what is the other thing? If you make legendary runes, you can get it via legendary runes. But other than that, I think it's just dungeons. I hope Paragon will be fun as a DPS too. Just started playing Warrior for Paragon. Nice. I played my fair share from Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, etc. So I was eyeing those harder difficulties, to be honest. Gotcha. My first playthrough of Rogue Trader, I played on hard mode because I also had a lot of CRPG experience. And I had a few times where I died and had to reload a few things, but it felt pretty fair. So yeah, if you wanted to do that, you could. Just take your time. I would say the game is almost too generous during your level ups. Like, you'll level up and you'll get like 50 things to choose from. And so take your time skimming through and trying to find, things that, pair well together, things that, make really good combinations. And, you could definitely, blast through it. Do you need a guide for Rogue Trader, or can you play blind? You can play blind. Like I said, just as long as take your time and read tooltips if there's something you don't know. They did a pretty good job with the tooltips. And if you do get stuck on something, you can come ask me if you want. You can forge yellow runes rare to get exotic ones, and muck runes, monk runes drop a lot from it. Really? I got over 6 stacks in a week that way. I had not heard that one. Dungeon currency, so you do the dungeon plus reward track on PvP World by World. So Wernos is offering an alternative way to get monk runes. I can't confirm if that works or not, but he said that. I hope Visions of Eternity Legi ring and accessory won't be unique equipped and will share the visual effect from the old trio. You hope they won't be unique equipped? So you're hoping that you could just make 2 of the VOE ring and skip the old stuff? That's the experience I was after. I don't like when the game has a lot of systems, but it shows the game difficulty makes them pointless, so I'll definitely give those higher difficulties a try. Right on! Yeah, so, Emnol, just my own experience with it is I played the game on... So there's, like, normal, and then there's stuff below normal and stuff above normal. There's, like, normal, then daring, and then hard mode, and then, like, insane. I played my first playthrough on hard, and I did totally fine in all the fights where it was, like, your party on foot, but occasionally you have, like, a ship battle, which is, it's a 2-dimensional field, kind of like a giant chessboard, and you have like a ship-to-ship battle if in certain moments. And when I played it on hard mode, the ship battles felt like incredibly stupid. And part of it was in the early game, you didn't have a lot of abilities for your ship. It was just shoot gun or ram into them. And so you didn't have a lot of to choose from. And so when you were fighting an enemy with way better stats than you at that point in the game, the ship-to-ship battle was really rough. But all the battles on foot, I felt like I was able to outplay my enemy, just being clever. So, they might have changed that a little bit, but also you can make changes. Like, you can go into the options and be like, have it be tough difficulty when I'm on foot, but have it be normal difficulty for ship battles. Like, you can do stuff like that if you want to. Muck, how do I get endless purple balls so I can be swimming them like Scrooge McDuck swims through gold? You gotta win so many giveaways, Charmon. Rex says, it's my first time to play Guild Wars 2. Is it okay, Ranger Longbow? Yeah, that's totally fine. That is totally fine. Any Tuesday news? There will be some in just a minute. Quickest way of thinking of dungeon currency is through Tyrian exchange vouchers. Yes, but I think to buy monk runes from the merchant, you also have to have done a certain dungeon a couple times to get the merchant to unlock that option. I think you can't just take the exchange voucher there and then that's it. I think you also have to have done a dungeon a couple times to have the buy screen be there. Thanks again. Sure. I hope you enjoyed as I did. Wish they had kept the scavenger name for the Antiquarian class like they just planned. Is there an affiliate link to pre-order the new Guild Wars 2 expansion? There sure is, Connor. Thank you for asking. There is a link to it in the chat right there. You just use that, it opens the shop, buy whatever, and it does support this channel, and I thank you. Is there any sale coming for the expansions? Rex, they sometimes do expansion sales in August because that is the game's birthday. I can't promise it, I can only say that they sometimes do it there. Admuck, I have done Ascalonian Catacombs 3 or 4 times, can I buy them? I don't know. Easiest way to find out is go to one of the merchants and see if you can buy them. So, for example, I'm in Mistlock right now. Here's like a dungeon merchant right here. It looks like that. And say like, what armor do you have? Show me Ascalonian Catacombs. And there's monk runes right there, for example. But you'll get whatever you want here. So, do you have the buy window? That's the fastest way to find the answer to your question. Monk, is there any changes in 4 Winds? We're gonna find out in just a minute. Is it Monk Honor of the Waves? It might be. It's been a long time. It's been years since I bought them. Something like Rummage instead of Snatch make more sense. Like the thing is, yeah, it's so yeah, the new Thief Steal is called Scrit Snatch, which, okay, one definition of Snatch is just like yoink. Unfortunately, Snatch has another definition, which has become more popularized in recent years. And now a lot of people are like, Script, what? Hey, what are you, what? All right. Yeah, this is fine. Exactly. Miksa says, I know people say to get the Skyscale for Soto, but I'm playing through it in order. Just got it in Living World Season 4. Is it worth getting it there now? You can't. So, Miksa, if you're going to get the Skyscale from Living World Season 4, the amount of time it takes is a little bit longer than if you're doing it from Living World Season 4 from scratch. It takes longer than if you're getting it from Soto from scratch. But long term, you'd wanted to get both done because they both add new abilities to the Skyscale. So there's not a wrong answer here. You can absolutely do it just in the proper order if you want. I feel your pain with Script Snatch. Goons used to be henchmen. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's really funny. Have you guys ever seen like pictures floating around like from really old comics? And they'll be like, oh my god, there's so many words that have changed definitions over the years. It's comical reading the old stuff. Like, summon the goons, and he means his henchmen, but now, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, this Saturday we're going to the parade, we're gonna have a gay old time. And at that time period, gay just meant happy. Now, though, you read it, it's like, wait, you're gonna what? Yeah, it's just one thing after another. And of course, there was the time where, like, yeah, the bone word, yeah. A word that starts with F that means cigarette. That was another one. There's, that Captain America comment says what you need is a solid D. Yeah, yep. Yep. I know. I'm not hitting the approve button on your messages because they're hitting filters right now. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, and yes. Yeah, it's just the terminology. It's changed over time. Okay. Alright. I think we're good. I have exhausted all of the Q&A questions people submitted to me via Discord. And I think we've gotten through all of the ones and then some from the live audience as well. All right, so we will end the late July Q&A here, and then we're off to look at some patch notes. Okay, let me relaunch my game. You guys can still ask questions, but I had to end the video somewhere. I'm gonna relaunch my game here. It's gonna go dark for a second, and let's see. Yes, run. Word censorship on YouTube is absurd right now. Not using words will not make things disappear. Wait, what? Not using words will not make things disappear. Wait, are you talking about just like in my YouTube stream chat? Or do you just mean in the general sense? It's a lot. I mean, some of it's silly. Like, there's so many people in YouTube videos saying unalive lately. And it's just like, come on, man. Alright, and... Okay. Have you heard of a game called Omno? I have not heard of it, no. Just last row, where can I go for a guide for my ranger? It depends. If you're a new player, Rex, like completely new, this is a general new player's guide that might be something that would help you out. Unalived, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that link in the chat right there. I never understood unalived. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that the whole thing is that creators were under the impression that if they said killed in a video, even if they were talking about like a video game or something, but if they said killed, that what would happen is that YouTube would like mark their video as being like for adults only, and it would get unmonetized, and then, they don't get paid for that video. So then they all started saying unalived, and it just spread around. You have to say in-game. Yeah, in Minecraft, yeah. I don't know the truth of it, but that seems to be the vibe. What is your name? If so, will you meet my mom? I already know her. Give her my best wishes. So tell her Michael says hi. Can anyone log in via Steam? I'm currently playing on the standalone client. I don't know. Did we already get a patched up read around? No, I've got it right here. I don't know that there's... I think it might be just the same holiday as usual. We can take a look here. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right, let's see. August 5th, 2025. August 5th release. I don't think I'm going to do a video on this, so I'm going to not crank it up to 11 here. Yeah. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the August 5th patch news. I'm your host. Oh, no. Release notes. On behalf of Queen Jenna and Kryda, the Captain's Council of Lion's Arch, you're cordially invited to participate in the return of the Festival of the Four Winds. High atop the labyrinthine cliffs, our Zephyrite friends have been working in tandem with Lion's Arch to host an incredible variety of fun vendors and events to entertain visitors from all across Tyria. The celebration of unity and peace between our cultures is more important than ever before, and we hope that you will join us in the festivities. In the spirit of cooperation, Queen Jenna has personally overseen the reopening of the Crown Pavilion, featuring a variety of challenges for Tyria's finest to test their mettle. Transportation to the festivities couldn't be easier. Special hot air balloons are now stationed in each nation's capital city. Visitors can sail directly from the ship from Lion's Arch. We look forward to seeing you at the festival, signed Captain Ellen Keel. Complete the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement to earn the Cloud Cuirass, a new chest armor piece, and demonstrate your might in the Crown's Pavilion's feats of strength. Cloud Cuirass, huh? Let's see. Is there like actual cloud? It looks like there might be some cloud tufts coming off of it. All right, so it's an actual cuirass. It's sleeveless, kind of low neck, and it looks like there might be like a little mantle of cloud around the neck area. Cloud cure what? You heard me. For the one who asked about Steam just now, it appears mine is having issues as well. Okay, noted. Let's see. You can color the cloud. Oh boy. All right, what else we got? Last year's meta achievement reward, the beach trunks, can now be purchased from festival reward vendors. Beach trunks. They don't show up well under my coat, but you can see them. Just some shorts. Okay. A new Leviathan bone weapon set is available. You'll receive your choice of a weapon by progressing the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement and the weekly Four Winds Festivities achievement. Let's see. Leviathan. All right, chat, here we go. Leviathan bone sword. Okay. Hammer. Longbow. Ooh, it's spines. Short bow. Axe. It's really cool looking, I think. Dagger. Great sword. It's like a part of a jawbone or something. That's an odd set. Mace. Are those eyeballs? what is that? Pistol. It's like part of a tailbone or something. Rifle. Yeah, let's take the spine and make it a gun. Scepter. Like a ball joint, like a hip bone or something. Staff. Focus. How do you hold this? Oh, like a claw. Okay. Torch. Warhorn. What? Shield. That looks like it was probably the thing's face. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat how you hold that. That's pretty neat. I was thinking it was going to be turned 90 degrees. That's pretty rad. Now, if only you could dual wield shields with this. Okay. And spear. Wait, is spear the same as staff? No, it's just very similar. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. What else we got? Last year's Sand-Swept weapon set can now be acquired from the Festival Weekly vendor. Contents of the Zephyrite supply boxes have been updated, including 3 new weapons crafted by a traveling weaponsmith. And they don't say what they are. Okay. The new mini Garenhof Kuhn cat. This is another word that has multiple meanings. We were talking about that earlier. From festival reward vendors in the Labyrinthian Cliffs and Crown Pavilion. Mini Garenhof Kuhn cat. Search miniatures. Garenhof? Yes, the word was Garenhof. That's right. There you go, chat. New Warclaw skin. Mini. He's large. Well, I was playing around with the view thing. I was zooming in for you guys. He's not actually that big. All right. Def Lahar is visiting Labyrinthine Cliffs for the festival and has a variety of homestead-tailored recipes for your favorite Festival of the Four Winds decorations. New guild and homestead decorations have been added. Lightning Aspect Crystal, Sun Aspect Crystal, Wind Aspect Crystal, Zephyrite Display Stand, and Siege Turtle Rental Post. What? What? Okay, fine. Alright, so there's Siege Turtle Rentals for homesteads and guilds now. A lot of the naughty words you're not saying are British naughty words. Oh, okay. Why do we need siege turtles in Homestead? How else would you swim through the water, Charmon? A new annual achievement for participating in the Labyrinthine Skiffs race course has been added. Annual achievements for race events and adventure participation have been standardized to give extra credit for completing their event versions. Added a tracking event that displays the time until the treasure hunt and other map-wide events start in Labyrinthine Cliffs. The preparation timer before the treasure hunt begins has been lowered, since the time until it begins is now more visible ahead of the start time. The Boss Blitz meta event now displays the health of all bosses in Crown Pavilion to allow for easier coordination. Updated trade... That's actually a really good change. That was kind of annoying last time. Updated trade prices at the Bazaar of the Four Winds. Special objectives are available in the Wizard's Vault to earn extra astral acclaim as you enjoy the festival. Okay, let's see what that is. Nope, wrong thing. Festival, complete a Boss Blitz achievement. Festival, complete Bundle Plunderer achievement. Festival, complete Annual Commodities Trader achievement. Festival, complete Annual Four Winds Customs achievement. 3, 4, 5. So you could get 600 astral acclaim, or AA, or if you do all of the festival stuff. Okay. They posted a trailer of the festival. All right, just a sec. Updated trade prices at the Bazaar of Four Winds. Special objectives are available in the Wizard's Vault to earn extra astral acclaim as you enjoy the festival. Various issues have been fixed to ensure a safer and more pleasant festival for all participants. The Festival of the Four Winds will be available for 3 weeks from August 5th to 26th. Enjoy the festivities. Also, updated Black Lion chest to offer a guaranteed Nash Blade Zephyr. Oh, they have to update the chest. Hang on. Black Lion. Mystical Beast set. Okay, Mystical Beast set was already there. The friggin' Dragon Ball Z healing chamber. And, okay, so no. So other than the guaranteed box thing, the rest is the same. Okay. Alright. What is this video you sent me? Hold on a sec. That's a big frog. Cat! Don't recognize that weapon. That might be new. That's the new bone stuff we looked at. That is a teaser. Very vague. Let's see. The Pookie looks cute. Love the looks. Yes, I was waiting. Okay. The 3 new weapons are seashell weapons. Well, the bone one that they showed was the Leviathan bone sword. But the offhand things that people had were other stuff. Roman chest here. Alright. Cool. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know how to access the new stuff, a lot of it is in Divinity's Reach, in the Crown Pavilion. You just go down there into the pit. And then there's also a fast travel from each of the cities to the Zephyrite thing. Where is it? Right there. That's it. Only available this time of year. You can get it opened up on your map right now, too. So there's a blip that'll take you there, and there's a big party going on there, too. Was that Spider-Man? Eh? Did you see pictures of Spider-Man? I don't know what you saw. I'm not sure what you saw. Okay. Has the Puge beta started, or is that later? I don't know. He was by the trading post. What? Oh. Bootleg Spider-Man. Nice. Accurate name. Oh, there he goes. Pictures of Spider-Man. I've seen that guy around before. I know there's another player that looks like Spider-Man whose name is Spider-Man. I've never met bootleg Spider-Man before now. What profession was he? Scrapper. I often see Norn Mario. I've seen that one, yeah. His name is like Thick Mario or something like that. My guildie has Norn Hulk, Big Green Norn. I've seen a Norn Goku a few times. A fun fact, I actually don't know how to get down here. Other than doing this. This incredibly unsafe method. Splat. Portal behind the waypoint, I think. Oh. Effort. Wait, what? Is that for the quest? What do you mean I have a quest here? The Flame Legion is far from trusted. I knew it at the Legion rally, but here in Human Lands we have a long way to go. Are you in town for diplomacy? After Bangar and the Civil War, everyone's on edge. But thanks to you, our Legion had the chance to prove ourselves. Now I'm extending a hand in peace. You've got this. How do you feel about the Flame Legion's depiction here? Some among us would see it as an honor to be immortalized this way. My hope is that these activities don't fan the embers of old grudges. Oh, as we kill... There's like literally Flame Legion people getting murdered behind him in the pit. The Flame Imperator? Yeah. If you're new, the best things to work on would be Ascended Gearing, level crafting, level gearing. Wait, what? I'm a new player working through Living World Season 4. Any recommendations on what I should focus on for the new expansion? I would say you don't have to rush to get to the new expansion. Like, it's not going anywhere. It's not like in World of Warcraft when they add a new expansion, then all the
hey
previous...
ho Muckins chat Mukluk hi Mukluk hi.
It's not like in World of Warcraft where when a new expansion comes out, all the previous expansion areas just become dead. It's not like that, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see. All the enemies on the Crown Pavilion are a mesmer illusion created by Queen Jenna, by the way. Is that actually a thing? I thought that they were like Watch Knights or something. Okay, you got me curious. Where does it say lore-wise that she is making them all like with illusions? I'm very interested in that.
I serve Lion's Arch.
They're Watch Knights with mesmer magic.
May Lissa aid you.
Welcome to the Crown Pavilion, my good friend. Here in Divinity's Reach, we're celebrating another year of our Queen's benevolent rule, and of course our strong alliance with Lion's Arch and the Zephyrhites. Seems like you're in high spirits, Farron. To tell you the truth, when I graciously accepted a nomination to the Celebration Committee, I never expected to find myself in this arena yet again. Yeah, when he got captured. But face your fears, you know, I'll be fine. You got it under control. I mean the festival, of course. If you watch them, they transform back into Watch Knights as they fall down. But so, we have seen a few times some crazy feats of strength of Queen Jenna. And if she's like holding illusions on all these things at the same time, that would be another one. Okay, yeah, look, Watch Knight. Yep, so their death animation is Watch Knights. The Troubadour has a whole song about Jenna. We're gonna die. Did you hear about the time that Jenna didn't die? You just gotta say no. So basically, you're not really killing random flame leader. That's why your flame leader is like, it'd be honored to remember this way. Yeah. Feel bad for the engineers that fix all these robots after we beat them up, though. Boss Blitz preparations. I'll do the Boss Blitz. It's been a year. What new Elite Spec are you most excited for so far? Probably Ritualist. Of the first batch, I actually thought the Luminary looked the most interesting. Second batch, probably Ritualist. It's steady work for NGs. Bandit's Bane. Watch Night Wrecker. Which lounge pass should I get? My personal favorite is Mistlock Sanctuary.
If only I could.
But they do have some different strengths and weaknesses. Ooh. Excuse me. Yeah, Thousand Seas Pavilion has access to the fishing portal to access a bunch of different spots in the world. That can be nice. Mistlock has easier access to fractals, which is nice. And I use it a lot for that. Mistlock's also very condensed. Like, everything's in a very small spot. Mistlock has the best OST. The Timmy's Game song? Yeah, it's pretty good. Armistice Bastion, if you do a lot of World v World. Yep. Armistice Bastion is the launch pass related to World v World, so it is solid if you prefer that. Flame Legion now is like when you unlock the villain as a playable character. Nah, I feel like that meme is about like the villain was crazy strong, then you get him as a playable character, and then he's weaker. I feel like the Flame Legion was never really that scary. It's just a bunch of dudes who liked fire. The problem is there was just so many of them. $1,000Cs also has the golems. Yeah, that's a really weird one. The only spot in the game that has underwater training golems. Prepare for the boss blitz. 1 minute. Ah! Mounts are not allowed in this area. What?
I'm not sure about this.
Oh no, I have insomnia. Guess I have to play Guild Wars 2. Oh no! Oh no, twist my arm. Dude, that's me late night playing Total War. I'm like, oh, I could do one more turn. 4 hours later. I also last night, what was I watching last night? I found an anime called GW2uesday. And I am intrigued. I watched 2 episodes of it last night, chat. So there's 2 more. There's only 4 episodes out, but I watched 2 episodes of it last night, and I was like, you know what? I like this. I'm gonna keep watching this. Is that the one with the kid with the gloves? Yes. Yes. It's about trash. It's an anime about trash. There's like this society of people, and they're all like, you know, super, you know, clean, and anything with grime or dirt or, you know, dust, it's like, it's ew. And they just like throw it off a cliff. They literally live on like a flying city or something. I don't know. But like, also, criminals. Oh, that's easy. Just throw them off the cliff too. So underneath them is this whole world of like garbage and people that are treated like garbage. And this kid is falsely accused of a crime and thrown down there. And then the story is basically his adventure and like what he's going through down there. But again, I'm only 2 episodes in. The animation is top notch though. It's really good. I would say just based on what I've seen so far, I recommend it. Without robots? I mean, there's monsters and stuff. But they kind of play off the, okay, I've seen this in some other animes before. There's like this story or something, I don't know the right word for it, or legend in Japanese culture that if an item is treated well for long enough, a spirit will come to inhabit it. And this is kind of like a warped version of that. Like, well, what if you treat an item badly enough? What happens then? So it's like, you know, there's items down there that are almost like angry. It's like they're, you know, like a stuffed animal that was abused and thrown away. It's like, okay, is it pissed? Like, what's going on next? Boop, 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 boop. Angry items, yeah. Have you checked the Black Line shop? No. Hang on. Is there anything new in here? It's not loading. I'll check it again later. AoE res. Anyway, yeah, I watched an hour of that last night. It was a fun anime. I'm gonna continue watching that one. Throw Muck Plush, it comes back haunting you. With a knife! No! So Chucky was abused a lot? Well, no, I mean, Chucky was a serial killer spirit inside the one body, the doll. The creator was inspired by Soul Eater as a kid, and she's deemed as a successor of Soul Eater's creator. Oh, that's awesome! I remember watching Soul Eater. Stupid! They did the thing where it's like, okay, I'm gonna condense this. Alright, let's say the comic, the mango, let's say it has 200 issues. They made like 100 episodes, and then just ended it on episode 100 with the power of friendship. But the comic just keeps going and makes way more flippin' sense. So, great anime, other than that last episode. That last episode was trash. And then, you know, read it. If you liked it, read it after that. Anime is a glorified ad? It depends. I would say there are some animes, like One Punch Man, that after watching it, I went to look at the manga and I'm like, wow, there is no way I'm reading this. This looks like it was drawn on napkins. Like the original One Punch Man manga is actual napkin art. So, yeah, it depends. It depends. You're talking about the webcomic? Yeah. I'm talking about the one that looks like napkin art, obviously. Is Black Clover worth a watch? The main character of Black Clover is a paragon. It's... Hang on. You won't believe me if I tell you how annoying this kid is if I don't show you. Alright. The main character of Black Clover is named Asta, and this is how he talks. He's basically screaming all the time. It's constant for 100 episodes. He's just always screaming. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the dub is better, which I've never said before, but holy crap. It's rough. Now, like, the world and stuff, the fights are awesome. But I remember I watched like 50 episodes of Black Clover, and he never stops. He's just always screaming. This is part of the reason I can't get into anime as a medium. I feel like, again, like, dude, I've watched like 100 animes. I'm a little bit of a weeb. That's a Black Clover thing. I don't usually see that. That's just them. That's just them. Honestly can't stand Luffy 80% of the time. I haven't watched One Piece in a long time. I watched Luffy, I watched One Piece up until the end of the Doflamingo arc, and then, like, I was caught up at the time, and then I haven't really watched it since then.
What do you need?
I feel bad for the voice actor for him. One of my favorite anime of all time is Hajime no Ippo. I still read that. Yeah. Dude, there are over 1,000 issues of that now. That is a good one. That is one of those things where it's like, I am not interested in boxing. That anime did such a good job of, like, talking about, like, fundamentals and stuff. It made me interested in it. You know? And it's just like, if you can, like, talk passionately about a subject, you can get other people interested in a subject that they weren't interested in before. Hajime no Ippo does that with boxing. And in a very cool way.
How can I assist you?
What about sports anime? I've had that sometimes with sports anime. Kuroko's basketball. I mean, to be fair, everyone in Kuroko's basketball basically had a superpower. But dude, I was very invested in that, and I watched it all the way to like one of the guys can do airwalk. Michael Jordan's airwalk, and he's like a freaking middle schooler. It's just like running through the air. But yeah, it was very entertaining, which is the goal of the anime. It's extremely entertaining. So yeah, I tore through that one. Mike, do you torture yourself and watch Serial Experiment Lane? You know what? I actually had an RL friend highly recommend it to me, and I watched like 4 episodes, and I stopped. I was like, what the hell is this? I couldn't get into that one. Like, from my own personal experience, I can't recommend that one, because I was like, what the is going on? So, yeah, I watched like 4 episodes of Lane, and then I tapped out. Did you watch Haikyuu? Was that, if that was the volleyball one, yes. But I think I watched season 1 of it. I enjoyed it. I haven't seen it since. I should watch more. Haikyuu is basketball. Okay, what am I thinking of? What was the volleyball one? Hold on. Haikyuu anime. I'm Googling this. Hang on. This is the volleyball one! What the freaking... Okay, Big Gibby says it was the basketball. This is the volleyball one. Yes, I watched a season of Haikyuu, and it was great. I should watch more. You're just making stuff up. You would just make things up on the internet? What the hell? Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop, definitely not kid shows, but solid. Yeah, I saw both. Those are good. Dude, okay, so, to date myself here, when I was watching late night Cartoon Network, there was a thing called Adult Swim, or Toonami. They had early Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, One Piece, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, probably some others, but all of those were getting blasted into my brain every night as a kid, all right? That was my opening to anime. Like, I didn't even know what Japan was at the time, and I was watching all of that. Like, every night. Code Lyoko? Okay, Code Lyoko, is Code Lyoko an anime? Dude, the funniest thing I ever learned about Code Lyoko was that you could write the entire theme song on that one girl's forehead. Hold on.
What is it?
Hold on a second. I gotta show this. Okay, I googled Code Lyoko forehead, and I immediately found it. Here's the main character of the show with the whole theme song on her forehead. Like, it was a very entertaining show. But come on, like, it had a style. It was French. Okay, I don't know about that. For anyone that don't know, like, it would it had a very weird animation style with very big foreheads. But the characters would occasionally go into like a computer world, and then there was like early CGI. You know, they were like 3D rendered in there, but then they would be 2D, you know, hand drawn outside of it. And it was a good story. Weird art style, good story. Sailor Moon. I think I've seen like 1 episode of Sailor Moon. I'm not the target audience. They're doing a reboot sequel to Ronin Warriors next year. I've never seen that one. Card Capture Sakura. Okay, I saw because it was on Adult Swim, I saw Card Capture Sakura a couple episodes. Wasn't really for me. There was definitely one that felt like it was for the younger girls.
I'm rich, you know.
Redline. I have seen Redline. When someone uploaded it to YouTube against TOS. And I got a link one day, years ago. I watched all of Redline on YouTube before it was taken down. That was fantastic. Login for the ANET launcher is broke too. So you're saying I should not log in. Okay, hold on. Really quick. Is there anyone that cannot log into Guild Wars 2 right now? And if so, are you on standalone platform, Steam, or Epic? Hold on, I want to see what's going on right now.
I'm rich, you know.
How good is your PC? You can do !PC and see my hardware if you want. I constantly forget what I'm running. Oathbringer says standalone not working. Samuel says standalone is working. Okay, I wonder if it's a regional thing? Login server is being fickle. I can't log in standalone EU. I can log in standalone. Maybe it's just EU down. Standalone working NA.
Dangerous times.
Is it just EU standalone is down? Have you seen the new teasers posted just now? No. Is it like on Twitter or something? I can go look. Just a minute. Oh boy. Okay. They gave us something, chat. 2 elite spec names and 2 professions still on the table. Conduit and Amalgam. Revenant and Engineer. What's your final guess? Dang it, do I have to do a news video now? They're not supposed to give news today, they just give news.
Eat your lunch first.
Eat my lunch. My wife says eat my lunch, and she shoved chicken nuggets in my face, chat. Thank you, wife. Okay, maybe just skip this one. Alright, well, I'm guessing Conduit is right here, and Amalgam is right there. Alright. So Conduit. What do I think of when I think Conduit? Electricity? They just got a lightning spear in Chanthier. What would it do? The electric spear does lots of burning stacks. It's mostly a condition damage build. Maybe the conduit would charge up electricity and do fire combos or something. Amalgam. Amalgam. I mean, dude, honestly, chat, I'm not even sure which is which. All right, conduit makes me think electricity, which makes me think engineer. But amalgam can be an amalgam of materials, which could be chemistry, which could be engineer also. And Revenant, okay, let's think about Revenant for a second. A Revenant channels spirits. They are a conduit for spiritual energy when they are channeling. Amalgam could be an amalgamation of different spirits, which could be like Gorseval. That would be horrifying. Maybe the Revenant is channeling multiple things at once, and they're going to be like, you know, Gorseval? There's way too much food. She gave me a massive plate of chicken nuggets and french fries. Maybe their new channel is like a big cluster of spirits? Hey chat, does anyone else have Bugged Races Labyrinthine? I haven't tried it, so. Season 1 of Mashley is funny AF. Oh, that's like the muscle guy at Wizard School? I saw a few of those. Amalgam, Cluster, Steven Universe. I don't know. 2 professions still on the table. Did I miss the LA reveal? Yeah, you did. It was Evoker. Oh my god, where was it? Evoker. She got like a Firefox thing. But we don't know much about how it works. What the heck? Yeah, we just know she's got like a Firefox thing floating next to her, but we don't really know how she works. But yeah, this is new stuff. I'm trying to think, alright, engineers get, okay, let's say engineers conduit, alright? All I can think of is electricity being heavily involved, which then probably burning stacks, or just power damage be heavily involved. Like, I'm wondering if they're just going to do, like, maybe summon Tesla Coil? Bro Izzle says, in chemistry, an amalgam is a mixture of mercury with another metal. This right here looks like it could be two things mixing together. So maybe amalgam is indeed... I mean, I mentioned earlier that either one could be either one. So maybe amalgam is the engineer? And then the Revenant conduit is like they're just a conduit for something else's power?
Oh, good luck, and watch out for those beasties around the arena.
I've been saying Quicksilver Mercury for engineers since the beginning. That blob in the center looks exactly like the footfalls for Juggernaut Legendary, which is made out of Quicksilver. Ellie gets electric powers. No, Ellie is a Voker. And it's something to do with a Firefox. Conduit for a Dervish hero? What a way to slide Dervish into it. Charmon says, Muck, I just found something interesting. You know how you did the Soulkeeper video? The Metal Legion music video actually had a short animation of a warband after being corrupted. Oh, really? Dude, I wish I had realized that. I would have used it. The Soulkeeper video was fun to do. But, yeah. Dark story.
Ready your mount. The pavilion pursuit is starting soon.
I still haven't decided what the next Did You Know I was going to do.
Registered for the race.
I thought about doing Did You Know How Connaught Got Rich? That's one thing that's crossed my mind. B. Dervish, Channel Balthazar, drop dead.
Did you need something?
Hang on, what is this? Alright, one sec. Okay, this looks kind of stupid. No, I wouldn't have used this. Dude, she fires a laser out of her sword at Kralkatorrik. What? That is not how it happened. Okay. That is funny. I no longer have regrets. Because for a second I was like, oh no, I would have used that. No, I would not have used that. Man, I'd love a Metal Legion channel. Alright, I mean, if someone's going to use the metal guitar, you know what? Let's just go all in on this. Revenant is going to channel Metal Legion, and they will get the guitar that Antiquarian also has. So we're going to have 3 guitar classes. Let's just go all in on this stupid idea. Rex says, why can't I sign into Steam? Rex, I don't know. A few people have also said they're having trouble. There's probably something they're working on right now.
My time is precious.
The new Festival Leviathan shield looks like a really big bone gauntlet. I know, it looks so good. It looks so good for sure.
I'm not sure about this.
Metal Legion has got to make a metal music video, holo video. What's a holo video? Steam Tuesday? Yeah.
How can I assist you?
What are we doing right now? I'm eating my lunch. Sorry. Been here for a few hours. Wife brought me food. I'm munching. Then might do a news video. I wasn't planning on doing one today, but I wasn't expecting this. It would be very different if the Rev Legend could only channel one legend and not switch between them with Conduit. Oh, like maybe you like completely devote yourself to being a conduit for one big thing and then you can't swap? Hmm. That would give up a lot of utility if you only had one legend. So, how powerful would it need to be to make up for that? What are you eating? We keep a handful of frozen things from Costco in stock, and my wife put a bunch of frozen chicken nuggets and French fries in the air fryer and cooked them. So I'm having nuggets and French fries right now. A lot of traits evolve around legend switching. Yeah, they could have it to where like your F4 just gives you some kind of a buff and it would proc all of the legend switching traits if they were going to do something like that. Legend swap is your resource management. Single legend would have to be super strong. Like, you could still have the button there, but have it just operate differently. Imagine a world without Costco. I'm sure there's tons of people from countries here that don't have Costco or have never heard of Costco. But yes, we get a lot of our groceries there. For anyone who doesn't know what it is, Costco is a store that sells a lot of stuff, mainly grocery things, but other things too. And you have to pay for a membership. So, like, you have to pay... I'm going to make up a number here because I don't know. Let's say you have to pay, like, $100 a year just to walk in the store. And they check your card at the door. But when you're in there, stuff is much cheaper than other stores. And you can, like, buy things in bulk. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, I could get a jar of peanut butter, or I could get 10 jars of peanut butter for $1. And then I never have to worry about peanut butter ever again. You know, that's the place. It's basically like a big warehouse. So, buy in bulk, save money, and you can get huge bags of French fries. Gas too. Yeah, they also have a gas station out front in the parking lot that you can get gas at. It has a cult following. It's like Sam's Club. Yes, it's like Sam's Club. They're also famous for the hot dog thing. They've got like a little food court type thing by the exit when you're leaving, and you can get like the hot dog. You can get like a giant hot dog for what is it? Is it $1 or $1.50? Hold on, it's $1.50, and it's not changed ever. Like the price in like the last 10 years with all the inflation that's happened, they've never changed the price of the hot dog. So it's like legendary for that reason. So you can like on the way out, you can get like. Spend $1.50 and get a gigantic hot dog and a drink. Or like a big slice of pizza and a drink. So, like, I haven't done it a bunch of times, but maybe twice. Me and my wife have just gone there and then just gotten like dinner or lunch there. Yeah, there's a whole interesting story about that where they were like trying to figure out how to keep it at $1.50. And I think they opened like an entire factory somewhere devoted just to making the hot dogs to keep the price at this and be able to justify it. But yeah, it is immune to inflation. Costco is lit, and I say that as an employee. Oh, right on. Didn't the Costco CEO threaten someone if they increase the price? Yeah. Yeah, I believe his exact words is, I will kill you if you touch the price of the effing hot dog. It's on a t-shirt. Yeah, he did say that. Rotisserie chicken and hot dogs are loss leaders. Well, they make up for it. It gives them one heck of a reputation.
I hope you're enjoying the refreshments.
That's the point, yep. More target. Anything new in the festival? There's some new skins and stuff. I think the events are the same, but there's a lot of new rewards. Big patch in FF14. Important thing is that lots of emotes can be used while sitting now. Oh, okay. Very important. That was done. Alright, another fry.
Nice one.
Ah! I exploded.
Don't embarrass yourself.
I sort of feel sometimes like champs are way tanker the legendaries, maybe it's just that solo a lot. Part of it is the scaling. Like, let's say for each new champion, for each new player that gets close to this thing, it gains health and damage. And for each player that joins that is not doing great, that they're not, you know, countering the increase in health and damage that the boss has. So it feels like it takes longer and longer and longer because people just aren't pulling the same amount of weight. It still dies either way, but that is kind of the fact of the matter of how it works. Ah! They teleported me into the sky. Hey, me, bro. Justicar Hableon. Isn't this the guy that's in, Bloodstone... What's it called? Fen, yeah. I remember fighting him. Ah! Stop dropping me out of the sky! He's just counting on the day that I don't react to my glider in time. The other day I was taking some pictures with some other players, and I had forgotten I had it set to render everyone on max graphics, which was slowing me down a little bit in this fight. Hold on, I'll show you guys something funny. Give me a sec. Here we go. That's Radish, me, and Iron Maiden. There's a bunch of other people there as well, but we were just looking real good, so I just cropped them out. The K-pop assurance. What are those poses? They're like, people call them the JoJo poses, but there was a emote tome that you can get from the gem store that is, what is it called? Slash cover? Hold on, I'm gonna try to remember this off the top of my head. Slash cover twist? No. Slash pose cover? Slash pose cover? Oh, there we go. Slash pose cover. That's one of them. Slash pose twist. That's another one. Slash pose high. That's another one. Slash pose low. That's another one. There we go. So there's 4 of them. And we were doing, like, and there was this big group of people for a photo thing, and you guys are going to see it soon. But there was a whole bunch, a big gathering of people, and I was there, and we were taking photos. And they were like, all right, everybody cheer. All right, everybody dance. All right, everybody. And me and Ian were just completely ignoring all the instructions and just JoJo posing on the front row for the whole thing. So in every picture, there's like a bunch of people cheering or jumping or singing, and then there's me and Ian just like, ooh, on the front row. There's a JoJo char in the background there. Please do one every time you finish a fight. Is there a list of all Guild Wars 2 commands like that? Well, again, the poses, like where it's an emote that you have to pay some gems to unlock. Is it slash emote list? Yes. If you do slash emote list, no space, it will give you a list in your chat box of all the emotes you have unlocked. So you have that if you want it. That's my all. I'm into Matty Man. It also shows locked ones as well. Oh, does it? Okay. Apologies. For me, the list is complete, so I thought that it just showed you only what you had. Is anyone else having trouble logging the orders too? Yes. Hamps, it's not just you. Other people have mentioned it as well, so you can feel confident that it's not broken on your side. I would say just give them some time. They broke something and they're working on it.
I watch over this place.
He says confidently. Dude, I said it confidently because I thought I was correct. You guys pointed out that I was mistaken, and I immediately said, oh, my bad, and then we corrected it. You think I'm the kind of person to just continue to be like, no, 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 I'm right, you're wrong, and double down? I'm way too stupid for that. I am way too stupid for that. I know when people ask me questions, I don't always have the answer, but I often know where to find the answer. Like, you ask me something, I'll be like, I don't know, but Fast Farming Community does. Or I don't know, but Guild Gen does. Or I don't know, but Snowcrows does. No, I'm human. I make mistakes. I don't know everything. Can you unleash pet while AFK? Huh? There. The streamer is never wrong. Yeah, okay. I was having trouble with, but can now log in. I don't know if it's working for everyone, but worth retrying. Oh, thank you, Flax. Just knowing that makes you smarter than the average person. No comment. No comment. No. I do think, in the general sense, it is a sign of maturity
Precious.
if someone has an opinion and you give them new information and they go, oh, and then they modify their opinion with the use of that new info.
I'm not sure about this.
Like, I respect people who can do that. Because, you know, the people who usually can't do that
Melissa
is like people my son's age. Children. Where they're like, no, no, no. That didn't happen. I'm like, yes, it did. No, it didn't. Look, here's a recording of it happening. It didn't happen. You made that up. Yeah, I just paid Noxxi to make this up. Are you kidding me?
peace is worth fighting for.
As an American, I'm legally not allowed to change my opinion. Nah. Something is definitely broken. Multiple people in my server having issues, and an error keeps popping up if you're in the event areas.
My time is
I am sorry to hear that. I haven't seen that on this end. Checks out Noxxi's on payroll. Well, Noxxi...
These are dangerous.
when you say payroll, it sounds like she's my employee. But she does editing work for anyone, and I'm just her most, like, repeat customer. She's done some amazing stuff for other people as well. One that really blew my mind. Do you guys know, any of you know Zizaran? He's like the biggest Path of Exile content creator that I know of. She did an intro for him for one of his, and he used it for a long time. She did one of his intros. Like, it was like a one-off job. And then, of course, she's done multiple things for, like, Teapot and Guild MM and, you know, other content creators within the Guild Wars 2 space. But yeah, I give her a big check every month to just edit anything I throw at her.
I'm not sure about this.
Without a doubt.
Greetings.
The tournament intro and videos with Teapot are super great. 100%. For me, that was kind of like how I was first shown Noxxi's work.
My time is precious.
Interesting stream thumbnail when you open the Guild Wars 2 section. Dude, I'm just finishing off my lunch here and people are dancing around me. They do what they do.
I'm not sure about this.
Best creator is Lord Heisen. His best videos are the ones where he has me exploding in them in somewhere. He's killed me a lot in his videos. Almost done. He's still used in recent videos, yeah. He has an alt account, and on his alt account, he made a character that is a clone of me, which is really stunning because I've got a couple pieces of legendary gear that are visible in my character. So on an alt account, he got legendary gloves and boots just to be able to make a clone of me so that he could kill me in his videos more easily. Okay. There we go. That's love, yeah. That is some dedication, for sure. Okay, finish that. All right. Time to change which legendary gear you're wearing. Let's gather some thoughts here. Let's do a little thoughts video. All right. So, we've got, where is it? We got this thing, right? We got this thing. So, there's Ellie, which is Elementalist is getting Evoker. We know that. Firefox thing. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Then we got Revenant, which could be Conduit or Amalgam. And then we got Engineer, which could be Conduit or Amalgam. So, if Engineer is Conduit, I'm thinking electric based attacks Similar to Janthir's Spear, lots of burning applications or direct power damage via lightning, Tesla coil gadgets. If it's amalgam, hold on, fine amalgam. What was it, mercury and what? An alloy of mercury with another metal, especially one used for dental fillings. Dentist spec. Something to do with liquid metal. All right, so Revenant, conduit thoughts. You become a literal conduit for a spirit, something stronger than channeling legend in some way. Perhaps becoming a conduit, you cannot legend swap and you entirely devote yourself to one legend, but it is more powerful. If they do this, the legend swap button would have to do something else and still trigger legend swap traits, because there are a lot of them. Alright. Amalgam, for this, an amalgam of spirits, first thought is is it Lextalion? Lextalion slash Gorseval, which are monsters made of large amounts of spirits forced together. Which could be this scary looking face thing right here. If this is like a face and a jaw. Like, if this is amalgam, I mean, that would be kind of weird. Because that could be conduit or amalgam, honestly. But whatever this is could be, the Rev one. That's my thoughts. Alright, I think I've gotten everything down on paper. That right there is my thoughts for this teaser. Rev getting amalgam, maybe it allows them to combine two spirits at once like Weaver. Maybe? Actually, this should be Legends. Can we combine new elite specs with old ones? No. Elite specs, you can only have one elite spec at a time, and then two normal specs. Amalgam just turns all your loot into amalgamated gemstones. What? That's, odd. That'd be amazing. We've dead people, Tesla, Einstein. I'm looking at what you guys are saying to see if there's any more gems that I agree with. Would also make sense of the image of the metallic orb at the center with the odd wobbly line on it. Amalgam usually refers to alloys, I think, so I suspect that Engie gets amalgam. Which brings to mind the question, if Rev is conduit, what are they a conduit for? What are they channeling? Decima? Palawa Joko? That thing doesn't look like either of those. Revenants already are conduit for spirits? Yeah, but how are they going to be more of a conduit for spirits? Also got... Hang on a sec. I've also got this image, too. Sorry, Rev, you're getting Drubert. All right. Let's get this set up. I wasn't thinking I was going to be doing a news video today, but I think there's enough of it to scrape one together. All right. Let's get the show on the road. Okay. All right, hello Guild Wars 2 gamers, Mukluk here. Today is, not July anymore, August 5th. It is Tuesday, August 5th, and we've got a little bit of Guild Wars 2 news. Wasn't thinking I was going to be doing a news video today, but there is a couple of items and some really cool teasers for the upcoming expansion that I think, if you put it all together, it's worth a video. So let's knock this out real quick. So first off, on behalf of Queen Jenna of Kryda and the Captain's Council of Lions are blah, 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 the next holiday has come back. We've got the Festival of the Four Winds, which is once again returning to Guild Wars 2. If you do not know how to access it, there are two main ways of entry. One is the Crown Pavilion, which I just realized I cannot access my world map right now. So I'm going to load out of here real quick. But one is in Divinity's Reach, the human capital city. On the western side of the city, there is a thing called the Crown Pavilion, which has got a very large circle on the map, which I am hoping that this loading screen is going to finish so I can show you. Okay, here we go. So, Divinity's Reach, right here, Crown Pavilion. You can talk to someone there to teleport down, or you could just literally leap in like a psychopath and you'll fall down to the bottom, which is where I was, and there is a whole bunch of events. Additionally, there are hot air balloons that will take you over here to the Zephyrite area, where you can do a bunch of the other holiday events. So that is how you access it if you're one of the noobs. Additionally, on MuklukLabs.com, we've got pinned to the top the Get to the Point Festival of the Four Winds guide if you are new and you need help on figuring out what and how to do the stuff there. We got some new achievements. Complete the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement to earn the Cloud Cuirass, a new chest piece armor, and demonstrate your might in the Crown's Pavilion feats of strength. So, Cloud Cuirass, I will try to show each of these items really quickly here. Let me blast over to the bank. Go to weights, Cloud. So here's the Cloud Cuirass. My shoulder pad's blocking a little, but you see it's a chest piece. It does not have sleeves, doesn't have like a neck area, but there is kind of like some fluff around the neck, but instead of being like, like a lion's mane or something, it looks like it's made of cloud. Like there's like some wisps of stuff there. It doesn't show up very well on my character just because of Asura plus the shoulder pads, but it might be much more noticeable on something like a Norn or a Char. Next up, last year's meta achievement, the Beach Trunks, which just look like a men's swimsuit, can now be purchased from the festival rewards vendors. A new Leviathan bone weapon set is available. You receive your choice of a weapon by progressing the annual Four Winds Customs meta achievement and the weekly Four Winds Festivities achievement. So, Leviathan bone weapons. Let's go to weapon skins in the dressing room, search Leviathan, and there's one in here I really, really like. I'll show you in just a second. So, we got the sword, we got the hammer, we got the longbow made out of spine, short bow, which is possibly ribs, bone axe, which is that right there, dagger, a great sword, a mace, and I don't know if that's eyeballs, that kind of freaks me out, a pistol, a rifle, a scepter, got like a hip joint there or something, staff, focus, which kind of looks like a little claw thing, torch, is that right there, a warhorn, and shield, which is my personal favorite of this set because of how you hold it. It looks like a gigantic claw weapon. Look at that thing. Never before have I wanted so badly to dual wield shields. This looks fantastic. So that is the shield. I love this one. I really, really do. So that is the Leviathan shield. And then we got one more thing. That is the spear, which looks very, very similar to the staff, but not identical. So that's that right there. And back to the news. Last year's Sandswept weapon set can now be acquired from the weekly festival vendor. I'm just making up new words. The contents of the Zephyrite supply boxes have been updated, including 3 new weapons crafted by a traveling weaponsmith. I don't have a Zephyrite supply box on me, so I can't show you that right this second. The new mini Garenhof Cooncat is available from festival reward vendors in the Labyrinthine Cliffs and Crown Pavilion. Garenhof Cooncat. Just a second. Let's see. Miniatures. There it is. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, hold on. I can enhance. Enhance. Behold. The Garenhof Cooncat. Fantastic. That's it. The pose, the presence, the power. Them paws. All right, now you know what that looks like. Def Lahar is visiting the Labyrinthine Cliffs for the festival and has a variety of homestead-tailored recipes for your festival, your favorite festival of the Four Winds decorations. New guild and homestead decorations have been added. Lightning Aspect Crystal, Sun Aspect Crystal, Wind Aspect Crystal, Zephyrite Display Stand, and Seed Turtle Rental. I don't know why you would need to rent a Seed Turtle in a homestead. Like, even if you got a race in there, is it going to be a turtle race? But it's there. It's there if you want it. A new annual achievement for participating in the Labyrinthine Skiffs race course has been added. Annual achievements for race events and adventure participation have been standardized to give extra credit for completing their event versions. Added a tracking event that displays the time until the treasure hunt and other map-wide events start in Labyrinthine Cliffs. The preparation timer before the treasure hunt begins has been lowered, since the time until it begins is now more visible ahead of the start time. The Boss Blitz meta event now displays the health of all bosses in the Crown Pavilion to allow easier coordination. So once again, that is in the Crown Pavilion that we were talking about just a minute ago. If you've never ever done Festival of Four Winds before, when you're down there in the lower area, there is different sections and bosses will spawn in all of them. And when you kill one boss, all of the others get the dead boss's abilities. So the last one you kill is the most buffed, but it's nothing too bad. Usually just a big horde of people just go around it and take them all out. And this is just a little change to that. Updated trade prices at the Bazaar of the Four Winds. Special objectives are available in the Wizard's Vault to earn extra astral acclaim as you enjoy the festival. So showcasing that real fast, we've got for 300 points, complete the annual Four Winds Customs achievement. For 100 points, complete the annual Commodities Trader achievement. For 100 points, complete the annual Bundle Plunderer achievement. And for 100 points, complete the annual Boss Blitz achievement. So there's 600 points there from the festival if there's anything that costs AA that you've got your eye on. Various issues have been fixed to ensure a safer and more pleasant festival for all participants. And the Festival of the Four Winds will be available for 3 weeks from August 5th to August 26th to enjoy the festivities. And then updated the Blackline chest to offer the guaranteed Nashblade Zephyrite supply box. And we looked at the Black Lion chest earlier. I believe, yeah, none of the crazy rewards here have changed since the last time. They've just changed the guaranteed box up there, so nothing different there. Okay, so that is it for the festival stuff. And for some of you, the much more exciting thing, Revenant is getting Drubert. You're all going to be fish. And basically, you ask people for money, and if they don't give you money, you get really buff and mad. And that's a lie. That's just something for fun. Okay, so we got this teaser today. 2 spec elite names, 2 elite spec names, yeah, I got dyslexia, and 2 professions are still on the table. Conduit and Amalgam. This is the first time that they have shown these names. Revenant and Engineer, what's your final guess? So, I've got some scribbles. These are all the thoughts I had after reading that, along with a couple thoughts for some other people. I'm going to share these with you, and you can tell me how wrong I am. So, Elementalist is getting Evoker. We know that. We've already seen that in a video already. It was a little teaser, so we're getting that tomorrow. Elementalist is Evoker, and they've got a little Firefox thing floating above them. Okay, so the big question here is who gets Revenant, who gets Conduit and who gets Amalgam between Engineer and Revenant? And I've thought of some silly reasons for both of them, and I'm just going to share that with you now, and you can tell me what you think. Revenant. Let's pretend that Revenant is getting Conduit. You could become a literal conduit for a spirit, which honestly is not that different from channeling them the way that they do right now. Maybe it's something stronger than channeling a legend in some way. Perhaps becoming a conduit, you cannot legend swap anymore, and you entirely devote yourself to a single legend, but it becomes much more powerful. If they were to do something like this, the legend swap button would have to still be there and still do something, because pressing that button triggers a lot of their traits. So they could have like, F4 is steroids or something, and then they press that, and then that triggers all of the trait swap things. But it's possible. It could be a thing. What if Revenant gets Amalgam? Well, an amalgam of spirits makes me think of Lextalion or Gorseval. For anyone who is new blood in the game, let me see if I can pull this up. There is a creature in the game called Gorseval, and then they've only used the model for this creature in 2 places. One is the raid boss Gorseval, and the other is a meta boss named Lextalion, which was just added at the end of Janthier Wilds. And as you see, it's got many, many body parts. There's many, like, jaws, many tongues, spines becoming tentacles. And basically, it's a fusion of a whole ton of spirits that did not end their life in a very nice way. And they were all, like, forced together into this creature. Maybe the amalgam, maybe this, like, spooky-looking face here is the amalgam for the Revenant. And they are going to channel many different smaller, like, less notable spirits at the same time and just become a monstrosity. Like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Maybe they're just going to, like, roid out with the power of, like, many, many smaller spirits and just, be just a We Are Legion. That could be really cool. Don't know if they're doing that. Could be really neat, though. One thought that came from a viewer said that what if the amalgam combines 2 legends at once in the way that Weaver can combine 2 elements? Maybe. I thought that was an above 1% chance, so I wrote it down. It could be a thing. Maybe you're 1 and 2 are for one legend, you're 4 and 5 for another, and the 3 is a combination attack or something. Not sure. So those are my thoughts and the thoughts of some folks in chat on what if Revenant got these things. Going on to the next one. Engineer. What if Engineer is the one getting Conduit? Well, Conduit for Engineer makes me think electric-based attacks, similar to the Janthier Spear. Lots of burning applications or direct power damage via lightning. Maybe your gadgets are things like you deploy a small Tesla coil and it just starts zapping everything nearby for a timer. Not a whole lot to say about this one. I mean, you can have like a direct lightning bolt, you can have chain lightning, have it bounce to additional targets, have it apply like burning, so it's condition-based, It mostly makes me think of like direct damage electric attacks. I don't know for sure that that's what's happening, but these are just thoughts that entered my head. And lastly, what if Engineer became Amalgam? If you Google Amalgam, it says an alloy made of mercury and another metal, especially used for dental fillings. So, assuming that Engineer's not going to become dentist, which after the Antiquary, friggin' the ball's in the air, who knows? Assuming they're not becoming dentists here, maybe it's just something with liquid metal. So it's like, this could, over here, this could be like a ball of mercury with other strips of metal orbiting around it, and you do something with liquid metal. What would that be? When I think of like a liquid metal class, first thing I think of is like the guy from Terminator 2 that was made of liquid metal, and he would transform it into anything he needed. But that's really close to Hollow Forge. Hollow Forge just makes whatever they need out of light. And it would just be like a different way of getting the same effect. You use your imagination, you made a thing. So they could make it really cool, right? There is one weapon in the game that really, really does a lot with liquid metal, and that is the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut is a hammer in the game. You know what? I can actually show it. Hold on. I'll have to mess up my fashion for a second. Wow! That's a big sky scale. Hold on a sec. You need to calm down. Okay, so let me go to wardrobe here for a second and go to this and summon the jug and apply. Okay, so we got the Juggernaut right here. When you unsheath it, liquid metal covers your body and starts pooling at your feet, okay? So you can see it just like leaves these puddles that splash. And also, whenever you do different attacks with it, you leave behind like streams of liquid metal and you can see them. So they've already got some stuff in the game already like rendered and ready for liquid metal special effects. So like this is already there. Now, I'm not saying that I encourage them to reuse the legendary Juggernaut's effects on this possibility of an elite spec, but I'm saying they're already capable of making liquid metal graphics. They could do something like that. Maybe. The question would just be how creative would they be with it, right? Like if you've got this thing that, you know, it's like your imagination is the limit. It can morph into anything. What are they going to make? Claws, small catapults, a trebuchet. Like, what are they going to do with this thing? I'm guessing that instruments with a lot of detail would kind of be off the table. Things like, you know, firearms and computers and stuff like that. But if you could just transform it into any simple thing, I think that would be really similar to Hollow Forge. But again, guitars. Yeah, yeah, they're going to make guitars. Yeah, you know what? Revenant is going to channel a musician. They're getting a guitar. And then Engineer is going to use liquid metal, and they're going to make guitars. Everyone gets a guitar. That's it. It's done. Case closed. That's the whole video. Everybody gets a guitar. Yeah, Metal Legion. That's the whole expansion. Anyway, did I exhaust my list? I think I did. Okay, that's all I've got right now. Those are all the thoughts that entered my head when I read the words of this tweet, and I'm sharing them with you. So, my question is, what do you think? Do you think Rev's getting the conduit or the amalgam? And do you think Engineer's getting the conduit or the amalgam? Do you think I'm right on any of my guesses, or do you think I'm way off and you've got a guess that's just way, way better? So, that's it for now. The festival is open. I got a guide if you need it. That'll be pinned in the description if you need it. But otherwise, we'll find out more about this stuff tomorrow. Wednesday, we're getting the blog post with all the additional information on these two, as well as the evoker. And then Friday, excuse me, hiccup. On Friday, we're getting the Twitch stream that is going to have lots and lots of more depth of information. And then late Friday, I'll have a video out on that. But that's it. That's all I got for now. If you got any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, put them in the comment section down below, and I will fight you there. Cut! There we go, chat. It's done. How dare they release news on Tuesday, giving me more work to do. Okay, catching up on the chat. I think Amalgam is the NG and Condi is the Revenant. Oh, yeah? Guitar Revenant should be Legendary Ozzy stance. Dude! Oh, that'd be fantastic. I missed the outro that I remembered I watched live. Yep. Cap says, imagine if Amalgam Revenant channels other Revenants, and they're just clipping through each other like a stacked Gmod props. They're just like start bugging out. NG being a dentist is not that far of a stretch, considering they already have a hammer. Great tool for removing teeth in bulk. I remember one of the funniest things I've heard recently, and it was like, you know, the existence of tooth fairies is really cute. But what about their older siblings, the bone fairies? Like, yo, give me your leg. Amalgam in a fantasy setting usually means a creature that's a combination of multiple creatures. Yeah, that's why I mentioned Gorseval and like Stallion. Is it be like a chimera? That's just a warrior. NG being, let's see. I wonder, can Revenants channel spirits from previous worlds humans lived in? Let's say they can. The question is, do we know any famous people? Okay, so here's the thing. They try to always hit us with nostalgia, right? Whenever they give us a new, like, legend or something like that, they try to give us one that we recognize from the story. Because there's a nostalgia aspect there, right? If they're going to give us a legend from humans' previous world, do we know anyone from there? Honest question. Like, I don't know that I know anything. I don't know much about the lore of the people from there. Abaddon? The only thing I know about Abaddon is he has tentacles, and if you dance in front of him, he kills you. I would have to read up on Abaddon. I know if you dance in front of any of his statues, he kills you. That's a real thing, by the way, in Guild Wars 1 and 2. And I was thinking about that because we already have Glint. I don't know. The Rev icon has 4 vertical bars. Could be anything or nothing at all. Hello, Reliquary cards. Yeah. What if Rev just becomes a higher conduit of the Mist instead of a legend from the Mist? Maybe. Just shoot big old Mist power. Varish Osa, who was in Nightfall, turned into Margonite. Minlo's mentor, forgot his name. What if Anet wants to earn some goodwill after they gave Writ to Necro and not Revenant? And then Rev will be a conduit and channel Togo, who uses the channeling magic and becomes a Ritualist. that is a lot of steps. Alright, so the Revenant's just gonna channel another Ritualist and be like, yeah, I'm a Ritualist too. They're gonna hit us with nostalgia, Rev channeling everyone who died in the Searing. Oh god, it's just an amalgamation of everyone who died in Ascalon? Yikes. Their new channel is just Ascalon. It's all of it. What's up, chat? Sup, Aquila. Channeling legendary factions instead of single persons. Let's see. Resolve from Guild Wars 1 is a good example of an amalgam. Who dat? Guild Wars Resolve. What is this thing? Oh god. Alright, hold on. What is this? The proto-matter that makes up the mist strains toward creation, often spawning demonic creations in nightmarish forms. Not all creatures from the mist are demonic, however. When the mists come into contact with suitable human template, for example, it can copy that form, creating a sentient entity with humanoid appearance and an almost human mind. Razah is one such creation. It has sprung into being a fully formed adult. It has the knowledge and capabilities of a human but lacks common sense. As a result, it asks odd questions about human emotions, contemplates human motivations, and attempts to duplicate human mannerisms. Razah is a contradiction, more than human in some ways and less than human in others. It needs an entity, a personality, and a purpose. Hopefully, it will find its purpose by working with a hero, otherwise it could degenerate into an abomination as monstrous and inhuman as its demonic brethren. Interesting. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with this character. Pretty cool artwork, too. I like that one on the right. Fully formed adult. Yeah, it's like the Sylvari. And he does use Ritualist skills. Anguish, Bloodsong, Boon of Creation, Doom, Pain, Shadow Song, Wanderlust. Hope I can channel some Quaggan Choice Spirits and just dance to improve morale. He's from Nightfall. Elite skill drops from the ruins of the entire city on top of the target. I feel like it would have bonuses for killing the AFK farmers on Ascalon, Cap. It would somehow excel at that. Amalgam would amalgamate multiple scripts into being, and Conduit would channel a horde of scripts easy. Oh my god. Shoot, what is that one thing? Hold on. There is this one unit of Skaven from another game that is literally what you just discussed, what you just described. What is that thing called? Hold on, I'm scrolling through their unit roster. I'm gonna recognize it when I see it. Hell Pit Abomination. Okay, hang on. Hell Pit Abomination. All right, I need a good image of this thing. Okay, here we go. Your idea of mini Skrit fused together is basically this. This is a million rats fused into one giant creature. This is in Warhammer. And if this thing is destroyed, it explodes into a million rats. And while it's alive, though, it has regeneration, it invokes terror and everything near it, and is just a big, monstrous thing, and it hits really hard. Yeah, ton of Skrit stuck together. I think of this guy. Perfect, perfect. Mug, that hero can be any class from Guild Wars 1, not just Rit. Oh, okay. You're right, Muck. Some of the hot orange chicken pieces got some spicy bits. I can handle it, but I could see it being a lot for you non-spicy taste buds. Thanks. Vague monsters thing sounds like my relationships. Wow. Basically Scourge in PvP. Has Scourge been bad in PvP lately? When does Piyush come? Chat, does anyone know when Piyush comes? I wanted to play that tonight. Oh, season currently ending. Maybe when that resets? Look at this. Last time I played PvP was the last Piyush 3 months ago. That was the last time I did it. Have fun stream. See you, Goddess. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping up here in a minute. EU servers tend to be somewhat unhappy right now. A few people can't log in. Yeah, there's been a handful of people, both Steam and Epic, and also on the standalone client that have said they were trouble logging in. It seemed like most of the ones who said they were having trouble were EU. I don't know what's going on there, though. Push will be fun with Scourges. Push definitely feels like a map where playing a support is great. Wiki says August 5th. Yeah, I just don't know what time. Today is August 5th. I just don't know what time it's happening. All right, cool. Chat, with that, we are done with the news. We're done with the Q&A. I haven't finished my lunch. What a busy morning it has been. Thank you guys for joining me today. I am out of time. I got to wrap things up here and get some stuff done. If you enjoyed yourself, please consider hitting that follow button on Twitch or subscribe if you're on YouTube. These are links to both my YouTube channels if you want to check those out. And a very special thank you to our patrons. I could not do what I do without their help, and there's a link to that in chat if you want to be a supporter. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe. I'll be back tonight. Plan on trying out the Pish beta. Going to be doing the weekly Guild Wars 2 giveaway, and yeah, that pretty much covers it. Let me see who is live in the Guild Wars 2 section right now. I'll give someone a raid just to show some support. Keep some viewers here in the community. Let me see. Who do we got? Do I know literally anyone here? Raid yourself. I don't know that it would let me do that. Fun fact, one of the other games we've been playing recently, diplomacy is not an option. If someone raids me on Twitch while I'm playing that game, it actually sends a raid of like Vikings at my city in the game and attacks me. Very interesting. Oh, look, Guild Wars Tuesday. It's spreading. I love it. I love it. Okay, we gotta just pick someone here. That's not English. That's not English. That's like a multi-stream. That's not English. That's, I don't think that's English. He hates me. Dang it, where's, okay, here we go. Just Jake. All right, I don't think I know Just Jake, but we have chosen you. All right, here we go. /raid Just Jake K. All right, chat, I don't know him. If you like him, hit follow. If you don't, just peacefully step out. That's fine. Do what you gotta do. As always, be nice. Use the raid emote if you got it, and I will see you over there. Have a good day. I'll be back tonight.
Prince being in